Melbourne and Adelaide head on. The stakes are high, for one defeat may have huge repercussions.
Well, I think a full forward often reflects how a team's going. I mean, if the team is playing confidently and generating opportunities through the midfield, the full forward looms as a natural target. Now, I think there's times, obviously, when Tony doesn't always present himself as an obvious leading target, but you couldn't be critical of his form and say that that's the reason that we're not playing well. I mean, we haven't been generating the clearly defined opportunities through the midfield. We haven't been moving the ball through half forward anywhere near efficiently enough, and half forward line players and other forward line players haven't been supporting him. So, I mean, a full forward really is totally dependent on opportunities. I think his opportunities have been limited.
Jakovic has been such a focal point for you over the last couple of years up forward. He hasn't been playing well and kicking the goals that he should have been. Have you had on one-on-one with him over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, a fair bit of that. I think his head's pretty much in the right place. He's, his attitude towards what he has to do is pretty good at the moment. He seems to have just lacked a little bit of, the spark that he's had, and we've done we've spoken about that a fair bit. I think in a way he's such an instinctive player that I think maybe we're giving him too many instructions. You've got to think about doing this and thinking about doing that and handballing to this bloke and doing all these things. And maybe you've just got to say, well, just get yourself right, and go out there and play. And that tends to suit the position on the ground he plays. If you're a full forward, well, it's pretty obvious what you're going to have to do because you're pretty close to goal, and that's we're hoping that's what he'll do today.
Welcome to Sunday Night Football from Football Park in Adelaide. What a day it's been, what a round it's been. Today it was Collingwood upsetting West Coast, Brisbane over Essendon and Footscray thrashing Sydney. And for all the Collingwood fans right around Australia, a slab of the last quarter will be played tonight at the conclusion of this match. We take a look at the ladder and we see the importance of this game to both Melbourne and Adelaide. From the start of this round, Melbourne has dropped one spot but has a chance to climb up to fourth tonight. Adelaide has dropped 2 spots. They should improve their position. If they win, they'd certainly go above Richmond and could challenge Footscray if they had a very big win. Both clubs have been struggling in the run into this match.
The moment of truth has arrived. For Adelaide, who started the season on top of the AFL ladder and in 12 rounds have slumped 9 places, 1 win in 5 matches has left the once proud Crows struggling. The popular talk pre-season was that Adelaide had the stuff grand finalists are made of. Since then, the stuffing has been knocked out. Superstar Tony Modra has kicked 10 goals in the last 4 games. Again, he'll be under enormous pressure. It'll be an evening of crucial importance for Melbourne. For 3 rounds, Melbourne led the competition. After a 5-0 start, the Demons have lost 5 of 6. If there's been a bright light, it has to be skipper Gary Lyon. His has been a season of character. If Modra is Adelaide's worry, spare a thought for the mercurial and unpredictable Alan Jakovic. Since round 5, when the Demons led the field, he's kicked 11 goals. Today they clash again. Melbourne and Adelaide head on. The stakes are high, for one defeat may have huge repercussions.
Yes, they've both fallen away. After 6 rounds, it was first Melbourne and third Adelaide. Now it's 6 and 11 respectively. And the big news from Adelaide's point of view is that Greg Anderson is out of the team with a thigh injury replaced by Ingerson. So a blow there to the Crows. Tony Modra has been struggling of late. Graham Corns talked about his form.
Well, I think a full forward often reflects how a team's going. I mean, if the team is playing confidently and generating opportunities through the midfield, the full forward looms as a natural target. Now, I think there's times, obviously, when Tony doesn't always present himself as an obvious leading target, but you couldn't be critical of his form and say that that's the reason that we're not playing well. I mean, we haven't been generating the clearly defined opportunities through the midfield. We haven't been moving the ball through half forward anywhere near efficiently enough, and half forward line players and other forward line players haven't been supporting him. So, I mean, a full forward really is totally dependent on opportunities. I think his opportunities have been limited.
Graham Corns talking about Tony Modra. Corns and Baum know each other very well. Neil Baum was one of the power coaches in the South Australian National Football League with Graham Corns in the 1980s. Neil Curley spoke to Neil Baum today about Alan Jakovic's form.
Jakovic has been such a focal point for you over the last couple of years up forward. He hasn't been playing well and kicking the goals that he should have been. Have you had on one-on-one with him over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, a fair bit of that. I think he's head's pretty much in the right place. He's, his attitude towards what he has to do is pretty good at the moment. He seems to have just lacked a little bit of, the spark that he's had, and we've done we've spoken about that a fair bit. I think in a way he's such an instinctive player that I think maybe we're giving him too many instructions. You've got to think about doing this and thinking about doing that and handballing to this bloke and doing all these things. And maybe you've just got to say,
reflex.
Get yourself right, and go out there and play. And that tends to suit the position on the ground he plays. If you're a full forward, well, it's pretty obvious what you're going to have to do because you're pretty close to goal, and that's we're hoping that's what he'll do today.
Neil Baum on the pre-match program with Neil Curley. Big crowd here, the Melbourne team already out. We'll take a break. Bernie Quinlan looks at the teams after this.
That's what I like about life. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
So one injury placing on the boundary is towards the 100 Jacks, straight for David, Joseph Sadiq and Hunter Farrell. Wanting to decide to make their entrance on the football park. Joseph being escorted here by Cameron Craig, being through. Was just good, Chris Martin. All the way from up par with Cameron Craig. One of Cameron Craig's first twins. Don't you get drawing Jason Henry. Right. Don't forget Troy, Jason's got to run out with the team. The umpires make the entrance onto the football park. Umpires Chris Mitchell, John Russo, John Harvey. Down the umpire Randall Shep.
Day coming into night in Adelaide. We're only 2 days away from the shortest day of the year. Terrific atmosphere here, Bernie Quinlan, and a body blow for Adelaide with Anderson out of the lineup.
Yeah, it is a big blow because their form's been very scratchy, as we know, Bruce. Last week they got thumped by 80 points by North Melbourne, and Anderson out of the side really does leave a big gap around midfield, although he did play at centre-half back last week. But let's have a look at the Adelaide lineup. And Tony Modra, well, they really do need him firing today. 10 goals in his last 4 outings. He's been very quiet. And that does reflect how the midfield is going at the moment, because Tony McGuinness has been a little bit down. Mark Ricciuto, the young player, has been very good. And Ben Hart, who lined up on the forward line last week, we're told will get the job on Gary Lyon this week. So that should be a terrific contest, that one.
Crows about to come out. You talk about form between them. They've won 2 matches out of their last 11, these two sides. But when you look at the form in Melbourne and in the AFL over the last couple of weeks, it's impossible to pick favourites, isn't it?
It is. They didn't really seem to play with a lot of passion, though, from what I saw last week, Adelaide against North Melbourne. Whereas the Melbourne side really only lost it in about 15 minutes of play. Their passion for the ball last week was magnificent. They just could not convert. Gary Lyon missed a couple of shots at goal, which really could have turned the game in Melbourne's favour. But
who's going to stand Gary Lyon, do you believe?
Well, we think Ben Hart will look after him, and he is a very important player. Of course, Steins went into that game last week unfit, so let's hope that he's fully fit this week. Jakovic, they need a big game from him.
Well, we've been told that Jakovic may start on the interchange bench tonight. Steins struggling with injury, as we said last week, but continuing that run of about 160 matches straight. We take a break. Neil Curley and Robbo after the break and the opening bounce.
That's what I like about life. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
And 16 pitch. So take out 1 Greg Anderson, 4 Sean Tasker, 14 Stuart Whitney, and 16 Nick Pearce from the Adelaide lineup. The Instone players are 20 Matthew Powell, 21 David Brown, and number 29 Anthony Henderson. Adelaide captained by Chris McDermott, vice captain Tony McGuinness. Adelaide sponsored by the Toyota dealers, the Scout Australia, and coached by Graham Corn. For Melbourne, this is 14 Rodney Bridger, 16 Andy Lovell, and 37 Andrew Lanfrill. So 14 Rodney Bridger, 16 Andy Lovell, and at number 37 Andrew Lanfrill out of the Melbourne side tonight. Interchange players, as far as we're aware, are 4 Chris Sullivan, 10 Martin Pike, and a toss-up between 30 Alan Jakovic and 41 Peter Rhodes, who sit on the bench tonight. Melbourne is captained by Gary Lyon, coached by Bill Barnes. All team information is off to the respective team managers by Carson Melbourne and Barry Gradway. for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. The auditorium is located on the western side of the Oval, facing the shopping centre, and it's an ideal way to pass the fun away after the game, instead of waiting in cars and traffic to leave. Enjoy a hot cup of tea or a quick bite to eat whilst relaxing in comfort by watching the replay of the Crows versus Melbourne game. Affordable food prices for the whole family are guaranteed. The auditorium is open to the general public 7 days a week. The auditorium will soon have available the parking for everyone to enjoy. So come on after the game and have a look at this exciting new facility, the new football park auditorium open after tonight's game. So the opposing captain is Gary Ryan of Melbourne and Chris McDermott for Adelaide. Joining the umpires in the second group with John Russo and John Harvey.
Some talent on the interchange there for Adelaide, but they're not stripped, unfortunately, for the Crows. Bickley, Hall and Anderson. One man who's out there but hasn't got his tracksuit off is Alan Jakovic at the moment, so it looks like he will start on the interchange bench. Neil Curley, you spoke with Neil Baum today. Are you surprised by that?
Well, he hasn't been playing well, and Neil admitted that, and it may be a little ploy, who knows, because I think trying to take the viewers, particularly in Melbourne, into the rooms here tonight, they were both very, very low key, particularly the Melbourne room. Neil Baum just quietly moving amongst his players very late in his preparation, a quiet word here, a quiet word there, and they seem very committed, and there was quite a bit of aggro in their thinking and their approach towards this game, so I think they'll be very physical. Also, I think the viewers will see tonight a lot of football played at ground level, particularly on the grass. The grass is very long, it's starting to dew up, so there'll be a lot of players slipping over. The matchups tonight will be Melbourne matching up the midfield of Adelaide and the Crows boys matching up the key forwards of the Melbourne side.
Who's going to play at centre half forward for the Crows?
I think you'll see Pittman line up there. He has played there before at our local level here, so he's no stranger to the position. 6'9", so he does give them a big target to aim at. He won't take many marks, but he will, and there won't be any marks taken against him, so there'll be a lot of spillage there. But look out for Modra tonight. I think he's fired up for this game.
Well, Jakovic has started on the interchange. Neil, who are you tipping?
I'm tipping the Crows tonight. I just think they're ready to play well.
Thanks for that, Robbo. Gee, some results today that have made a big difference to this match. Lose tonight and the Crows are right down in the ruck.
Well, it's very interesting, Bruce, isn't it? I mean, if you had to tip winners at football for a living, you'd go broke. But I'm tipping Melbourne tonight. I think that their form against Carlton last week wasn't all that bad, and I can't see the Crows making a recovery in a week after their lamentable performance against Collingwood.
Well, a few changes too. David Newts lining up at full forward for Melbourne, and Primke playing centre half back for the Demons. Phil Gilbert also lining up alongside David Newts in that forward line.
Jamison's on line as well. Adelaide kick to the left, Melbourne to the right. Full house at Football Park. Tremendous atmosphere here. You could call this a crunch game between the two. Liptak's handball out of the centre. Good tackle placed on by the Melbourne players on Rouvray, and it'll be a ball up again. So a great curtain raiser here tonight between two South Australian National Football League clubs, North Adelaide and the Eagles, which has whetted the appetite for people who love their footy and are at the ground. Free kick to Wren in the centre square. Such an important player for the Crows.
Bit of cloak and dagger stuff too when the coin was tossed. Couldn't quite work out which way, who won the toss. But there doesn't look to be any wind advantage, Bernie. The flags aren't moving all that much.
A little bit maybe to the left of screen in the early game, Robbo, but they were certainly kicking goals to both ends.
Well, Sean White kicks the ball along the boundary line and it just wobbles over for a boundary throw-in.
Schwartz
in front of...
Schwartz being picked up by Chalmers, and Todd Viney, the Melbourne midfielder, picking up Tony McGuinness.
Cold night. It's about 12 degrees and expected to get right down to 7.
Well, you could expect that. McGuinness there, kicking the ball off the ground. Wiedemann tried to get it back to Tony McGuinness and unsuccessful in the finish. The ball over for another throw-in.
Bernie Rashudo up forward. You like that move for the Crows?
Well, they really do need a goal kicker up forward. They've really lacked that, haven't they?
7-4 on the Crows with Sportsbook, and Melbourne 10-9.
Well, the 6-4 I've got Melbourne may not be all that bad. Tingay tries to control the football. Norris is there with Glenn Lovett. The ball Spills now for Road. Went one way, there were no options. Then the ball tucked through the back by Stephen Phoebe. Lovett's kick, that's Glenn down towards the wing. Charles punched away there by Maynard, taken by Chalmers. A quick kick by Wren goes high in the air. Perhaps a play-on call. That's the way the players see it. Jarman to Maynard. Maynard quickly to half-forward. The gather is brilliant by Liptak. Liptak across the half-forward line. It didn't really go forward for the Crows. Attempted kick off the ground by Modra. Sean White's got him for the evening. Yates' tackle there on Mail wasn't bad. White goes after the football again. The umpire's prepared to let the players really strive hard for the football, and eventually a free kick was paid and the advantage is with the Demons.
Brett Lover got it to Yates. Yates to centre half forward. Went through the hands of Chalmers. Charles with a bit of pace pushes it forward. Lee just made an error, but it won't be easy tonight. Maynard away, off for one leg, back in the Doyle direction, who takes it on his chest in the centre square. Won their first 5, the Demons. Were favourites for the flag at one stage. Up towards 50, line in the front spot. Chalmers lopes after it. Goes back to Ben Hart. Still just 19 years of age and over 50 games of league footy. Out wide to the Weed. They give him a customary roar. An untidy looking kick, as he often does, around the body. Liptak fell over. Good take by Stephen Phoebe. Left foot round his body. Back to half-back. Tregenza underneath it. Takes it on his chest. Was going to go. Stop. Thought better about it.
Simon Tregenza. 63 AFL games now to his credit. He's kicked towards full forward. Doyle gets in front. Takes a good mark for the Demons. Road looking for the hand pass. Doyle goes off the left foot. Short. Todd Viney may have the job on McGuinness. Viney's kicked towards the wing. A big leap by Schwartz. Chalmers has helped over the boundary line with the football as Alan Jakovic gives the Stimmerol a bit of a workout. Centre wing, boundary throw in. Wren, his opponent Steins, taken by McGuinness. McGuinness's kick, yes, well done Rashudo. He marks 50 metres from goal.
A great young player, this boy.
Mark Rashudo, lovely kick, right to the goal line. It's helped over. Sean White was able to get his hands to it with Tony Modra. And the first score of the evening is a behind to Adelaide.
The other midfield matchup, Jarman is playing on Glenn Lovett.
Graham Yates to kick the ball back into play for the Demons. A little unsure as to which side to go, then goes in short. Brett Lovett looked to play on. Yates takes it back. Yates goes long now. No one home though. He's just given it straight up. Tregenza will pump the Adelaide Crows back into attack. The kick to the front of the goals. Yates in front. Sean White says steady down. He gets the hand pass away. It's Stephen Phoebe from the right back pocket for Melbourne. Kicks it out near the wing. Steins gets in there and then took the ball away from Schwartz. And that could have nearly been deemed a throw. On the bottom of that rollman, he's dragged off the football. The Crows supporters scream for a free kick. Nothing happening. Throw it in, please. Boundary umpire.
Adelaide a point, rush through off Rashuto. Primke, who played in a grand final winning team here last year. Matthew Phoebe to centre wing. Charles, good play, brilliantly done. And gets some distance with a kick towards full forward. Gilbert was there. Crows fans looking for a free kick. Well played, Neats. Left foot centering. Should take a Jamison. It was a floater in the end, but it was a good mark.
Yeah, poor kick from Neats. He really could have spotted Glenn Lovett. Would have been a certain Melbourne goal.
Jarman lurking at the back. A big ball for Brett Lovett. Wiedemann breaks away. Goes long to half forward. Modra out in front of White. Got a good bounce. Turns around. Under pressure. Scrubby little kick. Liptak tackled by Yates. No free kick. Crow fans are screaming. Throw in the pocket.
Well, as you would expect, Bruce, anything that looks slightly like a free kick to Adelaide, they'll be streaming, this crowd.
Well, there's a few here barracking for the Crows, I would suggest. 46,000, a capacity crowd again.
3-2 in favour of the Crows. Melbourne have won on this ground in 1992. Liptak round his body. High one, Mail, Doyle and also Pittman. Back to Primke, runs it to the boundary and runs it out of play. Right forward pocket for the Crows. As we look at the interchange, Ingerson and Brown. Brown, who often comes on as a pinch hitter, can kick a goal in a hurry.
Well, the ruckman go at it. Now Wiedemann has the football. He can't break clear. Well done by Brett Lovett. Gets it to Primke. Back further to Yates. Yates having his third kick. Goes along the boundary line. Short. Punched away by McDermott. Nearly could have taken the mark there. Tingay picks it up. Kicks Melbourne to left half forward. Schwartz and Chalmers. Schwartz handballs it away. Looking for the free kick. Well done. No, he can't break away there from Maynard. Maynard should be given the free kick. And yes, eventually it is a Crows free kick, much to the delight of the fans here this evening. Rodney Maynard, sweeping hand pass in towards centre half back. Kick down the ground, in towards the centre. Punched away there by Stephen Phoebe. It was Jamison kicking it forward. Now Matthew Phoebe gets it back. It's Doyle who's had a couple of possessions already. His kick directly towards centre forward. Oh, huge leap there by Schwartz. Jamison again, McDermott, Maynard, and then Rouvray. Combination there by the Crows, pretty good. Rouvray off the left foot. A high kick, not really what the forwards want. Melbourne mop up, Doyle's got it again. Brett Lovett left it behind. Good stuff, terrific stuff by Waterman. He went in after the footy, and he gets rewarded with a free kick. Johnny Russo, the officiating umpire.
It's just that hand pass from Brett Doyle, a little bit too severe for Lovett. He put it slightly behind him, and that was what caused that error. It wasn't Brett Lovett really, but Doyle's hand pass just a little too severe.
Well, there's been some nicknames delivered on behalf of Mark Zanotti that have been very descriptive, but have a look at this man, Wayne Wiedemann. Don't meet him in a dark lane, ladies and gentlemen, and he kicks the goal.
Well, I think Adelaide slightly with the scoring end in this first term. In the early game that we saw, the first 14 goals, in fact, were kicked to this end of the ground. So definitely a slight favouring breeze to that end of the ground, the left of the screen. Terrific effort there by Wiedemann, putting his body in, earning that free kick. The mistake coming from that Doyle hand pass to Brett Lovett.
Crows lead by 7 points at Football Park. Wiedemann the goal scorer. Wren to go with Doyle. Wren wins it straight down to Viney. Viney to centre half forward. Wellman takes the mark. Ben Hart lookalike, isn't he, at 19 years of age? Same age, same body really. Away he goes to centre half forward. Fly by Rashudo early. Wiedemann getting some touches. Jarman, not often he makes an error like that. Little kick sideways, just missed Wren. Norris's handball was excellent to Brett Lovett. Brett Lovett centering kick, giving Neitz and Schwartz. Oh, good mark, Schwartz in the front.
He's been good this year. David Schwartz made a big comeback. He's kicked 26 goals for the season. Had a pretty quiet 93 and a 50-metre penalty now.
Makes a certainty of it.
This is a certain goal now to the Demons.
Did you cop that, Robbo? What for?
I think he was asked to come back on the mark once, maybe twice.
McDermott,
no
I wonder if McDermott was involved there.
No move.
He looks very disappointed.
And Schwartz would have struggled from where he was.
Yeah,
but that's going to be Adelaide's problem. Schwartz, Neitz in the forward line and Gary Lyon have Adelaide got three good defenders to contain those three very serious players for Melbourne.
And also Jimmy Stice in the forward line, Robbo, and he can take a mark overhead as well.
And Jakovic sitting on the boundary at the moment. Schwartz kicks the ball out of the park. A goal. So the Demons bounce back. 1-1 Adelaide, a goal Melbourne in a round so far where only 2 of the 6 favourites have been successful.
Yes, well, as we've seen this round, anything can happen, but a very tight game this one. A very desperate, critical game for both sides. Brett Lovett there getting the ball out of the middle. Melbourne have been pretty good around midfield lately. That is a strong mark by Schwartz in front of the pack there. Terrific mark.
Well, he gets Melbourne's first goal for the evening. And underneath all that, Todd Viney struggling to crash through. Unsuccessful. So the umpire will bounce once again. Jimmy Steins doing the ruck work up against Wren. Ball hits the ground, goes through McDermott's legs. Wren again over the top. And the umpire, for the third time, will bounce. Well, you can see the centre square just off to the left there. Centre circle, rather. So look at this contest between these two big men. Sean Wren trying to get the front posse. Jimmy Steins not giving it up easily. And the ball eventually hits the ground. Pittman tried to get it away underneath there. Wiedemann takes the free kick. He gets the hand pass to McDermott. McDermott really not progressing and forced to kick quickly back down towards half forward. Stephen Phoebe, little kick off the ground, nearly to Mayer. Lip tack. Now Rashudo, handball. Stephen Phoebe gets his left foot to it, kicks it close to the line, and it goes over on the full. So the free kick to be taken out there by Tregenza. Simon Tregenza for the Crows was originally drafted by Footscray. Great leap by Modra. No mark paid. Ball spills for a boundary throw in. About 40 metres around from the Crows' goal. Modra got his hands onto it, and that's probably the confidence that he's lacking at the moment. He's only kicked a few goals in the last 4 or 5 matches. Umpire close onto this, and he will bounce. That's Chris Mitchell, John Russo, and what a magnificent sight that is here at Football Park. Liptak crashed to the ground by Viney. Stephen Phoebe feeds it out. Doyle gets a quick kick to it. Some tough stuff down there in the forward pocket for the Adelaide Crows, and the players look back. No free kick. It will be thrown in between wing and right half forward for the Crows.
Leading by a point, but you get the feeling the Demons have done well early, because the Crows have had the ball in attack for most of this first term, and Melbourne's been able to withstand it so far.
We'd have been in everything early, Bruce.
Looks for Modra on a lead. Gets to him. Primke put his hand up but couldn't hold it. Doubt if he got the touch. Obviously from the umpire's point of view he didn't, and Modra takes the mark.
Yes, on the lead. No, Primke definitely didn't get a hand to that one. A tough angle here for Tony Modra.
So test his goal-kicking abilities at Footy Park. Never a chance. And through for a behind. He's kicked 198 goals, Modra, in his career in just 41 matches to date. His Football Park record this year is very good, 32 in 5. But as Bernie told you at the start of the match, only 10 goals in his last 4. He got off to the best start possible. He kicked 13 goals at this ground when the Crows beat Carlton in the opening match of the year.
So obviously his confidence would be down a little bit, and Road kicks in. Eventually finds Brett Lovett. Well, Brett Lovett a little bit lucky to get away with that. He gives it back to Peter Road. Peter Road goes down towards the half-back area where Tingay has taken a good mark. Gives a hand pass away into the path of Stephen Phoebe. His kick along the wing, not really good enough. Pittman takes an easy mark. It was Matthew Phoebe who delivered it, and he's going to get it back. He'll get a free kick anyway. Too high. Caught with the ball, too high. Wilbray for the Crows. Can't put them within goal scoring distance with this kick, and he does just that. A long kick up to the 50-metre line. High flyers, no. The crumbs gathered by Rashudo. What a magnificent kick by Mark Rashudo. You won't see much better than that. 19 years of age. And a great goal to Adelaide. They lead by 8 points.
Well, he has filled in on the forward line before, Mark Rashudo. Of course, played full forward in Sydney where he kicked 5 goals. There's a big leap by Modra, jumped early. Rashudo doing the roving and curling it back beautifully on that left boot. Very skillful player. And only 8 goals for the season, Mark Rashudo. Adelaide really, they do fall away very quickly after Modra and Liptak with their goal-kicking power.
2-2 to a goal. Rashudo, brilliant goal out of the pocket. 14-6. Jarman. Doyle goes back. Phoebe, Matthew towards centre half forward. Lee punches it away. Jamison, quick left footer. Handball by Phoebe. Back to line. First time we've seen him tonight. Back to Phoebe, to Matthew Phoebe. Viney's kick almost cut off by Whirlman. Charles, was he ridden into the ground by Maynard? Handball to Lovett. Now line. Good kick to the goal square around the body. Wren getting back and paid. Jarman short. Puts Maynard under pressure. Tingay attacks it hard. Adelaide have got a couple of numbers though. The handball was only average. Well played by Norris to sweep in front of Tregenza. They both go to ground. Norris gets a free kick.
Well, that's not bad if it's consistent all night, that sort of thing.
Norris bangs it back. Wren gets back. Chalmers, in fact, spoiled Wren there. And Adelaide hold it up for a bounce down. See, this is critical, Bernie, because the Crows are great at getting a run on a Footy Park, and if Melbourne can just hang on here in the next 4 or 5 minutes and be with them a quarter time, we'll have a tremendous contest.
Yeah, very important that.
Schwartz went high. McGuinness on his wrong side. Charles with him. Gilbert's hip and shoulder got rid of McGuinness. Scott Lee in the back pocket just rubs it along about 5 metres. Must love it being back. Played a consecutive number of games that was about 60 at one stage before being injured, and now has missed from round 3 until this match, now back in the Crows senior side.
McDermott gets a kick across his body down towards the wing. Lip tack. In goes Tingay fiercely for the football. Can't control it. Graham Corns with his deputy there, Michael Taylor. And just checking the positioning of the players on the magnetic board, and the umpire calls for another bounce. So pretty tight first quarter so far. 2-2 to a goal. Goals for Adelaide coming from Rasciuto and Wiedemann. For Melbourne, David Schwartz. McDermott, lovely hand pass out into the path of Tregenza, off to Jamieson. Jamieson's kick is a beauty. He finds Rasciuto. Now he's too far out to score. He kicks to a leading Modra. Brilliant kick, brilliant lead. It's the timing of the lead and the kick. It was perfect footing.
Certainly was, Robbo. And Rasciuto featuring in 2 very good passages of play. That pass just spot on to Modra, and also that left foot goal he kicked. The way he curled that back was quite magnificent.
Well, Modra really should kick this. In striving for the distance, it lacks accuracy, and it goes through for his second behind. So still the champion full forward goalless. We've got 6.5 minutes left in the first term.
He did kick 2-7 a couple of weeks ago against Collingwood. So maybe his accuracy has deserted him over the last few weeks.
Actually, I did say at the start of the match that their confidence would be down, the Crows, after playing against Collingwood. But it was North Melbourne, Bruce, they played last week, wasn't it, over in Melbourne? And they were slaughtered.
Sure, we're at Optus Oval. Singo's long ball, good mark by Chalmers. He's got 3 Crows out wide, all screaming for it. Decides to handball, gets it to Wellman. Schwartz tries to run him down. Wellman up to half forward. Rasciuto, one hand, but the contest was good because Melbourne had numbers. Road concedes back to Yates. Yates round the body, under pressure, close to the line. Bounces in. Tingay's got to take Tregenza on. Holding the footy.
There's no attempt made by Tingay. He was just hoping that the boundary line would save him.
Tregenza about 75 metres away from goal. Modra provides an early lead and then sits back. Now Modra goes to the pocket. Tregenza goes in that direction and gets him. Too far out, you would think, about 55 metres away.
I think we should give Tregenza a little bit of credit there, Bruce. It's one of the parts of his game that people criticise him for. The defensive side, that was a great tackle.
Modra's kick right to the goal square. Pittman, Rasciuto at the back, lip tap. It's a point. Didn't get his foot to it.
So there was a chance there, wasn't there, Bruce?
Sure was.
That first attempt by Liptak, had he been able to get his boot to the ball, unfortunately he missed it.
Real onslaught by the Crows, but they're not converting on the board at 2-4 to a goal.
Down under 6 minutes left now in the first quarter. Peter Road to kick it in for the Demons. He decides now to go long, and it's well outside 50 metres. Steins couldn't take the mark. Went up with one hand. It goes back for Tregenza. Off to Jarman. Uses the ball. Well, it was a bit severe in the finish for McDermott. Kick off the ground by Pripke. Goes back near the wing. Charles, well done. Made a real good contest of it with Maynard. Well done. Spinning out of trouble. Pretty ordinary kick in the finish though. Up in the direction of Yates. In goes Rasciuto. Taps it back. Lip tap. Oh, look at McGuinness. Magnificent Tony McGuinness. That's the goal of the year that I've seen so far. That was sensational football by Tony McGuinness. Adelaide 3-4. Melbourne a goal.
Absolutely brilliant by Tony McGuinness. Let's have a look at this in replay. He's in all sorts of trouble here across half forward. Yates trying to keep the ball out in front. Rasciuto has been very busy for Adelaide so far, just tapping it on. The hand pass coming from Liptak, spinning out of trouble and curling it back magnificently. Tony McGuinness, great stuff.
There's like an eruption here after that 3-4 to a goal. McGuinness and Rasciuto kicking spectacular goals for the Crows in this opening term. Brett Lover got it from Tregenza. Well, the Mickey McGuan fans back in Melbourne are turning in their grave, Robbo, to suggest that was the goal of the year.
Well, you can get a bit carried away here at Football Park, Bruce.
Norwich out wide goes to Steins. At centre wing, the Demons need a goal before quarter time.
She's got some strapping on the knee and the thigh.
Wouldn't back him in the mounting yard of Flemington, Robbo. To centre half forward. Maynard in the front spot takes the mark.
Doing well across half back. Maynard, Chalmers. And Ben Hart.
Very short to Wellman. Most of the Melbourne players have stopped for the moment. Wellman away from half back towards centre wing. Steins thumps it away. Wiedemann well played, but caught up by Viney. Jarman, McGuinness spins and weaves. Little pass okay to Liptak. Crows are on a roll. Back to McGuinness. Goes long. Modra the chance. Still with Modra. Off the ground. Free kick to Modra in the pocket.
Yeah, he was being held. There's no doubt about that. A free kick was there. Tony Modra held when he didn't have possession of it. Knocked it out in front of him. There he is, held by Graham Yates for a long time and, well, spotted there by the umpire. It wasn't too hard to spot, in fact. It was a pretty obvious free kick.
Wiedemann and Rashudo very important early. Wiedemann to break the tackle and get the ball to Jarman to set it up for them early.
Gee, that was inspirational, wasn't it, by Wiedemann?
Well, Modra needs to kick this for his own confidence. Only 20 metres out. Looks good as a goal. Well, you get the feeling, Robbo, at 4-4 to a goal, early days yet. But the Crows have started well.
It's not looking too good for the Demons at the moment, but don't worry, Demon supporters. I wouldn't write them off just yet, because, as I said, the breeze is certainly favouring slightly the end to which Adelaide is kicking. 49 goals now to Tony Modra for the season, 199 career goals. There's a free kick again against Graham Yates, back in the Melbourne side this week.
28 plays 6 under 4 minutes left. Steins and Wren. Rouvray, ball rebounds, taken away by Matthew Phoebe. His kick towards centre half forward, should be paid, it is the finish. Gary Lyon got his hands on it. And it was knocked away by Jamieson. You wonder sometimes, Bernie, whether that should be paid. What do you think?
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, I think he did have the mark, and it was knocked away just fractionally after he'd taken it.
Okay, Gary Lyon from directly in front. Makes no mistake, Melbourne get their second. But Gary Lyon kicks his first goal. David Schwartz has kicked a goal for Melbourne. And the Demons trail 12-28.
Yes, one that Melbourne needed just to keep in touch with Adelaide at the moment. There, the kick rebounding off Sean Wren. Gary Lyon, definite mark there, no doubt about that. Jamieson getting in there late and knocking it out of his hands. Gary Lyon now with 29 goals for the season. Terrific last week against Carlton, played a magnificent game across half forward.
Well, you can see the time remaining in the first term. Adelaide have kicked 4-4, Melbourne have kicked 2 goals. Centre bounce, break, Jarman. Matthew Phoebe. Oh, he's down by Rashudo, that's a free kick. That was a solid bump, but it was in the back.
Yeah, poor tackle by Rashudo.
Melbourne get the ball clear. It's Tingay. He's on centre wing. He's forced to kick high. Not really what the forwards look for. It goes straight through Jamieson and Gary Lyon. Back goes Rouvray. Tackled by Lyon. Ball spills over for a throw-in.
Good solid tackle there by Gary Lyon. Showed how it should be done.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the opening term. Adelaide by 16 points. They've had 8 scoring shots to 2. Schwartz and Lyon, the goal scorers for the Demons. Lyon gives Charles a chance. McGuinness puts some pressure on. Charles well played. Good kick too, right to the square. Schwartz getting back one-hander. Unable to... Oh, free kick to Schwartz. Being held on to. Ben Hart, most unhappy about it.
The umpire was in the perfect position. He was just off to the left here, Bruce. You won't see him, I don't think.
Well, it's pretty hard for us to see from that angle also. Very, very tough angle to pick it from for us.
Schwartz to kick his second. Melbourne's third, straight through again. Good effort this by the Demons. They look like they could be crushed early at 4-4 to a goal, and they've kicked 2 goals now. Ben Hart still talking to the umpire.
Yes, well, let's have a look at it again. Gary Lyon there getting the hand pass over. This was magnificent play by Sean Charles. Slipping over, got to his feet very quickly. He is a very promising player. Delivered it long into the forward line. Maybe Hart momentarily, well, I think he may have been hanging onto the right arm of Schwartz there. Pretty hard to see, as I said, from this angle.
Well, you don't often see an umpire blow his whistle and change his mind, Bernie, so
exactly.
you can do all the bluing you like. The free kick's there and the goal's there for Melbourne. Andrew Jarman tries to get it clear. Tingay it is for the Demons. A handball wide. Matthew Phoebe had to wait and then gave a hospital one to Jimmy Steins. He's able to get it to Tingay with quick hands. Phoebe again gets it back to Tingay. Tingay's kick up to the 50-metre line. Demons into attack. Schwartz nearly get it again. Neats a little kick down the boundary line and it rolls over for a throw-in the right forward pocket for Melbourne. Demons a chance to score before quarter time. Plenty of Crows fans here, but I'm sure there's a lot of Melbourne fans watching this on television. Back there in Victoria, Wren doing the ruck work with Doyle. Schwartz gets into the action. Ball spills, McDermott working overtime. Wren gets the handball clear. Tregenza, Maynard tackled by Neitz. And his fellow teammate there in Sean Charles. And the umpire can do nothing but bounce at centre half forward for Melbourne. Rodney Maynard last up on his feet. And the ruckman to go at it once again. Doyle gets it down. Not to one of his men. And the umpire will be forced to bounce it once again. 4 goals for Adelaide. Melbourne have kicked 3 straight. Gary Lyon has kicked 1. Schwartz has kicked 2. Neats up high. Takes the ball out of the air. Couldn't get through. Chalmers can't get through. Wellman endeavouring to break clear. And the umpire forced to bounce it. In pretty much the same spot. 3 in a row. Centre half forward for the Demons.
Wren and Doyle. Doyle front spot for the moment. Lyon tries to barge his way through. Jamison, McDermott on the bottom of it. Holding the footy against McDermott. Unbelievable. He's not going to like this.
How could you pick something out like that? I think he just got frustrated because he bounced it 3 times. If he bounces it again, it's 4 times in the same spot.
Well, pretty high that tackle, didn't it?
That is a tough call, isn't it? That is a very tough call.
He would be one of the most honest blokes playing the game, Chris McDermott, as far as his endeavours are concerned.
Needs to kick the goal from centre half forward. In the dying seconds of the opening term, goes with a long one. It's not a bad kick. It's right there. It's a goal. Well, what an explosive finish to the opening term. Demon fans back home would love that. McDermott spitting chips, and Melbourne have gathered some momentum in the last 5 minutes. They've come from 4-4 to a goal to 4-4 to 4. Boy, have we got a game at Footy Park. Modra, McGuinness, Rashuto, Wiedemann, the goal scorers for Adelaide. Rashuto and McGuinness were outstanding goals. Schwartz has got a couple for the Demons, along with Lyon and Neitz. It's 4-4 to 4 goals. A reminder about the great video. Name a game. For a catalogue of the games, ring 008 035 665. The big grand finals, the big marks, great goals from Australian Football Video. Neil Curley on the boundary line. Adelaide seemed to cop a bad blow at the end there with the free kick against McDermott, but the big swing around in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, full credit to Melbourne. Like the Crows, their enthusiasm and momentum and desire in that first, say, 20 minutes was fantastic. Something that we haven't seen from them for about 3 to 4 weeks. But then Melbourne stuck at it, and they turned the game around those last 5 minutes with 3 valuable goals. One I thought was a little fortunate. I didn't think it was there, but that's the way the umpire saw it. So good luck to Melbourne. But this game, it looked like a tremendous amount to offer in this game of footy, because I can see that every player out in the ground, both Crows and Melbourne, are totally committed to winning this footy match. There's going to be a lot of hard physical clashes, and there's going to be a lot of players that have to lay their courage on the line.
Get the feeling you're enjoying the night, Neil.
It's fantastic down here, Bruce.
The Knuckles. Well, we had another look at McDermott as Curls was speaking. It did look pretty stiff, didn't it?
It was a very, very tough decision. Well, McDermott was the only player prepared to get in and get the ball for a start. And then there was a free kick over the top from Viney in the back.
But why give the guy a chance to kick a goal? That's the critical thing.
Start of the second term at Footy Park. 4-4 to 4 goals. Bit of a grand final this, you'd reckon. For the loser, it will be very hard to come back in this topsy-turvy season. Jarman laid it off for McGuinness, who got good distance on his right foot. It looks like Gilbert's gone back to the back line. White tried to ride Mail. Well played by little Mail, the 19-year-old. Phoebe. McDermott's handball, mislip tap. Oh, tough and hard early. Terrific opening of the second term.
A bit of feeling, Bruce, I think, crept into it after that last free kick. Just before the quarter-time siren, but gee, there's some ferocious tackling there by both sides.
Mail did well, didn't he, to hold up White, who was charging through to Bullergate. Inside the 50 for the Crows. Doyle went with Wren. Any positional changes, Bernie?
Yes, Djakovic on for Melbourne, and as you called, Phil Gilbert onto the back line, and Peter rode off.
So the big move there, Djakovic is on to full forward for the Demons. Wren gets the tap, Yates taken away, Rashuto, brought down by Gilbert, no free kick, play on call.
Oh, very fortunate there, Phil Gilbert. Hanging on to Rashuto for a long time.
These umpires will never get off the ground, Bruce, will they?
Looks like Wren might be at centre-half forward too, Bernie, with Pittman on the ball.
Well, up high was Primke and got his hands to it. Matthew Phoebe gets it across to Yates. It went straight through Graham Yates' hands. And eventually Wiedemann with the footy.
Rashuto was very busy in that first quarter, and obviously Neil Barn very worried about him, so Gilbert's gone back to pick him up. Peter rode off the ground. He played in the reserves last week.
Well, I think what Neil Curley said at quarter time was appropriate. It's going to be a really good top tussle, this game of football. Melbourne always renowned for giving 100%, and the Crows look pretty pumped as well. Wren, determination written over his face. Back there, Stephen Phoebe sees it over. And we'll have a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Adelaide.
Hit-outs at the moment, 14 to Adelaide, 7 to Melbourne. The height difference there, Wren, just a big advantage with him in that height advantage over Doyle.
Throws his right foot at the foot, he may get the goal. No, he's missed. Oh, gee, that must have been close. It was kicked very quickly and severely by Wren, and the goal umpire had to run across quickly. But he decided in the finish that it was just a behind to the Crows. 4-5, and the Demons are 4 straight.
Yates will bring it back in. He too, like Rowe, played in the reserves last week. He's bounced back. Played in the first 10 games this year for the Demons. Goes long and wide, out to half-back. Stein's the target. Wellman went with him with Wren. Norrish, handball over the top. Glenn Lovett goes back to Steins. Steins, a little one to Tingay. Controlled that Steins very well. Tingay's handball went to himself. Line, trying to neat one. Jamison was able to cut it off, but they've conceded a fair bit of ground, the Crows. Norrish after it again. The tackle on him, pretty good by Pittman. Still in play, and now out, and a throw in at right half forward for Melbourne.
They may have to use Jimmy Steins a bit more, Melbourne, at the moment, because Really, Doyle just lacking in inches there. Is Jimmy Steins now doing the ruck work.
With Pittman, who is having a run on the ball. Quick kick by Jamison. Liptak leads in the race. Little handball to McDermott. Not a good handball by McDermott. Rouvray spins. Lopes away. Goes out wide on the left. Rashudo and Gilbert. Gilbert, Rashudo, free kick Gilbert. Play on advantage Yates.
Played that well, Gilbert.
But out of bounds on the fall.
Well, accordingly, that should come back, shouldn't it? Because it's not to Melbourne's advantage.
Well, I suppose, Robbo, once the umpire has called advantage, he's not to know what the player's going to do with the ball, with his kicking.
McGuinness from centre wing goes with a high one to fall forward.
And it's well within scoring distance now for the Crows. Sean Wren, well, his attempt there was stymied a little bit by, looks like Liptak, that may have dragged that back in. And the umpire forced to bounce in the left forward pocket for Adelaide. Early in the second term, the Crows lead by 5 points. Doyle and Wren. Wren tries to get a backhand to it. Ineffective. And again, the umpire surely will be forced to ball this in the air again.
Yep. It's like World Championship wrestling, isn't it, at the moment? It's very tough to get a kick by yourself.
I think the players appreciate the importance of this game. Wren. Oh, gee, there's some strength in that body. He really stands his ground quite well, Sean Wren. And he's got the free kick. Umpire deeming that he was interfered with in the ruck contest. Doyle not protesting all that much. We'll have another look. And he does grab hold of Sean Wren's left arm. So Wren goes for goal from about 40 metres out. It goes across the face and through for another behind to Adelaide. 4-6 plays the Demons, who are 4 goals straight. So the advantage for the Crows is 6 points. And it's just early doors in the second quarter here at Football Park.
White is wide on the boundary for Stephen Phoebe on this side, but Phoebe looks as if he might go in the Steins direction. Down the centre, Steins may not quite get there. He was at the back. Doyle's mark good. Viney runs off him with a bounce. McDermott in pursuit. Viney, the best at the club last year, goes to half forward. Jakovic, first contest. Ben Hart on him. Jamison, a good take in the conditions. Left foot not too far. Gary Lyon, highly skilled, just taps it forward. Jamison, Tregenza, Charles still in play. Still with it, Charles, and it's going to be a bounce at half forward for the Demons. McDermott just clapping the umpire sarcastically there, saying, well, perhaps all the decisions tonight haven't been right. Can't quite read from here. I'm making all that up. Pittman. Handball by Maynard. Tregenza. Quick kick under pressure. Good body by Wellman. Liptak uses McGuinness and then did the shepherding. Very good footy. Wiedemann should have taken the mark. Brett Lovett's handball back to Steins. The little give under pressure. Gave the Melbourne play a little chance. It'll be a ball in, will it, at centre wing.
Bad hand pass by Jimmy Steins.
Well, it was a good head pass, but the bloke
well,
he was no way known he was going to get away with it.
There was 3 Adelaide players around him.
Oh, dear me. I don't know who got the biggest shock there. Wiedemann underneath all of this. Steins the tackler. The ball spills now for Tingay. He can't break clear. Andrew Jarman doing some good work there for the Crows. And again, the umpire will be forced to bounce. Pittman, number 15 there for the Crows. Jimmy Steins, his opponent in this ruck duel. Both of them got severe strapping on their right knees. Wiedemann, Steins gets it out into the open anyway. McDermott well tackled. Ball there with Jamison. Tingay was good. Wiedemann tries to get it clear. Now Melbourne may get a clearance. No, in goes Liptak. Now the ball spills for Rouvray. Rouvray throws the left foot at the football. McGuinness a gather. Gets back onto that favoured left foot. Then the little kick and finds Mayle. The 2-8s are playing on each other. Josh Mayle and Graham Yates. Mayle into the forward pocket area. Coming out Modra. And the mark is eventually taken by Sean White in that right back pocket. He takes a risk, a shocking kick. Terrible kick. Wren, equally as bad, missed the whole lot.
Well, thank goodness Sean White would be thinking, what a shocker. He must have kicked the ground. There was a player on, there was no worries about that, but the kick, the execution of that from both players, very ordinary.
Wren and Steins, Rashudo, well played, left foot for goal. Misses. 4-7 to 4 goals.
you wonder how he can kick such a brilliant goal down the other end off the left foot further out and miss that one.
Well, Wren's had 3 shots a goal in this term. Rashudo won there, but interestingly, Graham Corns obviously thinking that Modra's not only the key now, needing some firepower up forward with Wren and Rashudo, 2 of his very best players, been asked to play a role on the forward line in this term, and he'd be wanting goals from them as Viney goes to centre wing.
And a good mark taken by Wiedemann.
He's been good, Bruce. Coming in for kick number 4, that's his first mark.
His kick goes short. Good positioning there by Rouvray. He runs away, inside 50, goes for goal. And it's the post. Well, what a fantastic sight that was. Had a player having a shot for goal. The camera worked right on that footy, and you followed it all the way to the left goal post, of which it hit. 4-8 Adelaide, 4 goals Melbourne.
Again, the danger here for Adelaide, dominating on the field but not on the scoreboard. And a goal by Melbourne, and we're all square again, aren't we?
Too true. Gilbert it is with the football, and he decides then to go straight down the ground. A good long kick in towards the centre. It's taken by Glenn Lovett. Ball now with Tingay. Tingay goes wider still. Primke in the middle of the action. Underneath that, Tregenza. And the umpire forced to bounce once again. Well, I would say we've had nearly a record for a game of football in such a short time for ball ups.
Yep, certainly. It was very tight like this yesterday. North Melbourne and Richmond. That first quarter was goalless from both sides, and very similar conditions here.
Steins, Tingay, Charles under pressure. Pittman didn't go 10. Steins has got hold of him, and it's going to be another bounce down. I love Dennis Cometti's comment at quarter time yesterday. It's like the World Cup 4-1, didn't he? 4 points to 1. Richmond and North Melbourne. Pittman and Steins again. Pittman wins the tap. Liptak overruns it. He can be a bit loose on occasions. Charles. Handball very good to Glenn Lovett, a former best and fairest at the club a couple of years ago. Schwartz in the front spot. Wellman. Line missed him. Jamison under pressure. Wellman. He broke the tackle by Fabian. Sweeps the handball out to Chalmers. Chalmers in slow motion goes bang with a long one. Modra at the back. White there. The ball goes to ground. Handball under pressure. McGuinness in the box in to kick a goal. Goes to Mail in the pocket. Left foot snap is a shocker. It's out on the full. And I just fancied McGuinness had half a hope there on his left.
He did, and the kick there from Josh Mail really needed to be a centering kick. It was a very low percentage kick, that shot at goal from him.
Well, it's amazing. If there's an advantage going down to the left-hand end, Melbourne, I don't think they've crossed the centre. They may have got as far as Schwartz on 2 occasions, but certainly no further. And the quarter, well, it's nearly half over.
Well, as Bruce said, the danger is that Adelaide dominating the actual play, and yet they can't put it on the scoreboard.
Boundary throw in, just slightly forward of centre wing in Adelaide's attacking half. Liptak underneath there, going absolutely nowhere, Matthew Liptak, and the umpire will be forced to bounce. Probably 2 kicks from the Crows' goal. Steins and Pittman, no free kick.
No.
Well, Jimmy Steins will be bluing about that. Glenn Lovett tries to get clear. Steins eventually to Brett Lovett into a vacant centre area. Now there's crunches on. Charles, very well done, gets the handball. Oh, what was Doyle trying to do there? There was no room at all for that hand pass. He could see his teammate, but just wasn't going to get that far. Greg Doyle picks himself up. The umpire bounce once again near the centre circle. Tap out, ball rebounds for Wellman. Kick goes high in the air. Centre half forward for the Crows. Free kick against Primke, and it'll be taken by Sean Wren on the 50-metre line. Wiedemann's on. Short kick. And it's not too bad. The mark has been taken there by Wiedemann. Now, he's not that much closer to goal, but doesn't mind a long bomb at them, Wayne Wiedemann.
Wayne Wiedemann's already kicked 1 goal. He'll be kicking from just on the 50 metres.
And off the left foot, it's a long kick to the goal line. The ball's still there. Modra, McGuinness, close to the line, tries the check side punt kick, goes across the face, and it's upped over by Jimmy Steins. And Sean Wren for a throw in the right forward pocket for the Crows.
Well done by Jimmy. He's moving much better than he was last week. Certainly was a liability going into that game half fit with that medial ligament problem last week against Carlton.
Crows by 8 points. Mail tries to break the tackle. Back to McGuinness. Ball is getting a bit slippery. It's going to get down to 7 degrees in Adelaide tonight by the end of this match. And it's going to be dewy. The grass is quite long at Football Park. Ball will be hard to handle. 4-8 to 4 goals. Rashudo, Liptak, McDermott conceding ground. Had the strength to hold it up. Mail to Jarman. Jarman squeezes one out. White and Modra. White attacks and Modra puts the tackle on. Good one. White goes to ground. Have they got him? Yes, holding the footy.
I really think that's a tough ball too, Bruce. He was making all the play there, shooting wide. Here we see it again in replay. Terrific tackle by Modra, brought to the ground. Sean White was quick to regain his feet. It spills underneath him. What really could he do there?
Liptak's kick right there. Gilbert at the back punches it through. Rush through for another behind. Crows are 4 goals, 9. The Demons 4 goals. Adelaide led 4-4 to a goal late in the opening term. And Melbourne kicked 3 goals in the last 6 or 7 minutes of that quarter to bounce right back. Brett Lovett to bounce it back into play.
Well, they haven't been successful at getting the ball clear of the Adelaide Crows forward line, but they may be here. Yates has got the football. He goes wide, looking for Schwartz. Out there is Chalmers. His tap on was good. Tregenza, short kick. Looking there for Liptak, but Rashudo was there to help him out. Rashudo's kick towards full forward. Sean White and Modra. In there, Wiedemann. Ball spills. Opportunity for McGuinness. Oh, gee whiz, it's tight there on that Crows forward line. Demons working overtime to clear the football, having not much success so far in this second term.
Well, the criticism of the Crows the last few weeks has been that they haven't been fierce enough at the ball. That certainly changed tonight.
Steins tries to get the tap down. It's taken by Rouvray. Left foot snap by Rouvray. Just over Sean White's head for a behind.
2 behinds now to Rouvray.
Well, it's a real struggle. I mean, what would Neil Baum do? I mean, their defence is working well, but it's around about the middle of the ground. They just can't get it past there to give their forwards an opportunity.
Midfield, they're being cut to pieces.
Stephen Phoebe straight down the centre. Tingay the target. Good grab by Wren. Off to Tregenza. Tregenza chip one. Good one to Liptak. And that wall that Adelaide has created across the centre line working to effect there. Wren's been a good player, hasn't he, at centre half forward in this term?
He's worrying with that height, Sean ran above Greg Doyle. I really need Jimmy Steins to stand up.
Liptak's hit the goal. Well, the deadlock broken at 5-10 to 4 goals.
That's the 10-point advantage now to the Adelaide Crows. There's the big fella now filling in at centre half forward, Sean Wren. Pittman doing the ruck work for Adelaide. The kick out is very good overhead, Sean Wren. There he is, taking the mark, not messing around with it, giving it off quickly to Tregenza, who spotted Liptak all alone. And, of course, Liptak making no mistake with that kick from about 30 metres out.
7 minutes left in the second term. Adelaide get the first goal of the quarter after nearly 20 minutes. Jarman gets it down. McDermott and McGuinness. McGuinness couldn't clear the centre area, and the umpire will have to repeat the dose and bounce it. Demons really struggling to get the ball forward. They've got some key players up in the full forward area. Neitz and Lyon and Schwartz. Now Schwartz has got a chance. Gives a sweeping hand pass to Norrish. Norrish goes wider to Tingay. What can Tingay do? He bombs away high in towards full forward. Neitz, but getting back was Rouvray. Ball spills now for Lee. Lee's hand pass. Excellent. Wellman straight down the ground. Jimmy Steins couldn't reach the football. Liptak's got it. Sweeping hand pass. Wider still. Opportunity now for Pittman. Pittman goes in towards full forward. White misses it. Goes to Modra. Brilliant pick-up. Must kick a goal. Tony Modra. Modra's now kicked 2 goals. And the Crows get their second for the term. And the gap widens. 22 points the advantage for Adelaide.
Yes, he showed explosive pace there. Tony Modra hit very heavily there by Paul Pripke. He would have had another kick, I'm sure. The umpire going in to have a look at the result there, but Tony Modra putting it right through the middle. Terrific play by Modra.
He's an athlete, isn't he? His pick up on the run, acceleration.
That pace was quite amazing, explosive.
Well, a gap suddenly is opened. 6-10 to 4 goals. The Demons needing a couple before half-time. Steinsman's down on hands and knees for the moment. McGuinness, Phoebe out of the centre. Glenn Lovett, round the body, high ball, not going very far. Up to half-forward, Lyon got a bad bounce. He's got to get into the game for the Demons. Neats, handball over the top. Matthew Phoebe inside scoring range. Awkward-looking kick across the face of goal. Ben Hart getting back. Doesn't concede, comes away and finds Rodney Maynard. Maynard squeezes a shot on the lead. Gee, Hart, Maynard, Lee, you've said that over the last couple of years a few times in defence. Pittman to McGuinness running. McGuinness at centre wing to half forward. Wren ricochets away. Steins, high one over the top, Rashudo. Free kick to Steins. Pripke and Rashudo wanting to go on with it. Feel a bit for Djakovic at the moment too, Bernie.
Yes,
didn't get a crack at it in the first quarter and hasn't got a sniff in this term.
No, well, it's just not getting down there, Bruce. He hasn't had any opportunities.
Well, Pripke gets the ball to Glenn Lovett. Sweeping hand pass to Brett Lovett. Brett Lovett's quick kick up towards full forward. Good mark, Djakovic.
Well, that's just about his first opportunity. Speak about Djakovic. And of course, he's Melbourne's leading goal kicker over the last 3 years. Alan Djakovic, playing at full forward, has kicked 34 goals for the season, but has only kicked 11 in his last 5 games.
Just thinking that, you know, Lyon and Neats and Djakovic weren't getting a chance, were they?
No, they certainly haven't been playing any part in this game in their second term, mainly because the ball's been on Adelaide's forward line right throughout.
Perhaps a run on the ball for Gary Lyon wouldn't go astray for the Demons to throw it around a little bit as Djakovic goes for goal. It's a pretty good kick by Alan Djakovic. He kicks his first goal. So the Demons hit back. They've now got 5 goals straight, but they still trail by 16 points with 4 minutes left.
Unfortunately, Robbo, they've been pretty accurate in front of goal. 5 goals straight really has kept them in the game. 16 points behind. Adelaide certainly has controlled this match. They've found their endeavour back here at Football Park. As we see Djakovic have this shot from about the 50-metre mark. Terrific kick for goal is Alan Djakovic.
6-10 to 5 goals. Modra, Djakovic, the latest goal scorers in this match. The 2 excitement full forwards. Lyon, Maynard, held up by Neats, I think it was, and it's going to be a bounce just inside 50. And the Demons did this in the opening term, outplayed completely, bounced back with 3 late goals. Well, they've got 1 back and trail by 16 points. Another one before half-time would bring it right back. Pittman sets himself, Neats over the top, McGuinness. Charles tried to smother it off the boot. McGuinness, did he get a shove in the back? He did. It'll be a free kick to the Adelaide Rover from half-back.
And 50 metres against Sean Charles for not giving the ball back to Tony McGuinness. Sloppy play from the Melbourne forward.
Well, certainly when it was within goal-scoring distance for his teammates. McGuinness now goes in towards the centre of the ground with that advantage and kicks up near the 50-metre line. The high flyers, no one can take the mark. The ball at the bottom there with Maynard. Wiedemann, hand pass a bit too severe there for Pittman, but he shows courage and goes after it once again. Norrish appealing for the free kick. Nothing happening, so the umpire will bounce. Just forward of the wing for the Crows. 6-10 to 5 goals. Modra's kicked 2 for Adelaide, and David Schwartz has kicked 2 for Melbourne. Kick forward there by Stephen Phoebe. Gets good distance too, up towards half forward. Chance for Lyon. Looks as though he may be struggling with a certain restriction. Now with Neats. Well tackled by Lee. Ball spills for Jamison. Jamison kicks down the boundary line. Very well done. And he finds Rouvray. Rouvray's kick up near centre half forward. It goes through all the players contesting the mark. Kicked off the ground by Primke. And it goes over for a boundary throw in. Demons making a change. Doyle
coming off, he's injured. And Sullivan coming on, limping off. It looks like Doyle may have done a thigh.
Well, you won't have to worry about the height advantage now because Doyle on the interchange bench. The Demons have to go with Jimmy Steins in the ruck. And he's back there at half-back trying to defend for Melbourne. The ball spills for Yates. He's got his hand on it. Andrew Jarman forced it free. Mail couldn't get clear. Matthew Phoebe underneath there. And still nothing happening. And Steins, Pripke, Todd Viney, how did he get it? He was handed the football. And eventually, a free kick has been picked out. It will go to Melbourne at left half back.
Well, I suppose it's only been really a matter of time before this erupted. Things have been so tight and so close. And this between Wiedemann and Viney, the players that aren't all that happy with themselves.
Well, you've got to be a bit careful in that situation. If you've got the football and it goes the other way, all of a sudden it's a kick for goal for the Crows as Mail takes his place on the interchange bench and Brown has a run for the Crows. It's Viney's kick back near the wing.
Line there with Jamison. Rouvray runs it to the boundary line and runs it out of play. Just missed by line. The Victorian captain, he led the Vicks here in that memorable State of Origin match. Gee, I'm glad he missed him. Centre wing, Jamison to half forward, Brett Lovett in front of Wiedemann. Still a minute and a half remaining in this opening half. Stein swings a handball. A goal either way here will be pretty significant if one can get the goal. Primke up to half forward. Schwartz was run underneath it. Sullivan on for the first time with a bit of pace. Goes to ground. Lee behind him. Maynard. Handball over the top. Chalmers out of play at half forward. So the Demons have still got time to kick a late goal. They trail 5 straight. They've kicked to 6-10.
86 kicks to 62 in favour of Adelaide, 55 handballs to 49 and 24 marks to 18. So the stats all in favour of Adelaide.
It's their pattern, isn't it, Robbo? Lots of touches, not always converted on the scoreboard. Yates, now McGuinness.
McGuinness from left half back, kicks it high down towards the wing. Yes, a great effort by Ring. Geez, a great player. And he gets the handball away to Brown. Brown has a good look and then delivers into the pocket, out in front of Modrat. Little kick there by White, but it's Brett Lovett. Matthew Phoebe caught by Wiedemann. Bash clear by Sean White and eventually taken over. Gee whiz, Tingo could have nearly got a free kick there. He looked back and he does receive it. Liptak holding on and riding that player to the ground. Well, only half a minute left, so Tingay kicks it across the half-back line. Pripke, now Sean White, goes for the safety of a quick kick. Demons a chance here. Ball gathered by Norrish, decides on one bounce and then kicks up near the 50-metre line. Schwartz the high flyer, the ball spills. Maynard to tidy up, Wellman misses it. Back goes Scott Lee, a quick kick by that player, it's been marked by Norrish. The siren has sounded and it's half-time at Football Park and the Crows lead 6-10 to 5 goals straight.
That's what I like. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
Bradley?
Yep.
You're talking to me?
Yep.
Brad? We're doing talk first.
Promo, some Footscray in Sydney as well. That's all right. No, that's enough. And Scotty, can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, Bruce.
How are you, son?
Yeah, good. Listen, Bruce.
Yes, Don.
Just start off about the crowd.
Okay, only 27,000?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, mate. Hey, Tranquilli, eh?
Yeah, mate. Good, mate.
And Heady?
Yeah, mate.
Now, Robbo's listening. You got any?
Did you hear the voice from the blast from the past? The voice?
Who was that?
Well, who would you reckon have the biggest voice since the printing press?
Scotty Palmer?
No, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, the one. How is the Wonder? Is he enjoying the match?
How's the nose?
Oh, struggling a bit, Wonder.
Then, of course, on Tuesday night, the big straight race between South Australia and Western Australia. The car park opening at 5, goes at 5:30. Then at 5:35 is the curtain raiser, independent schools versus the high schools. And the South Australian National Football League recognises the International Year of the Family. So a special family ticket on sale of $10 that enables 2 adults and between up to 1 to 4 kids to attend here. A special family ticket of only $10 with the SANFL recognising International Year of the Family. So that's it for you. State training tomorrow night. So just before the big punch on Tuesday night, training here tomorrow night. Watch the Stars, the South Australian train, and then the Western Australian Stars train at 6:30. Get the autographs from the State Stars between 4:30 and 4:50. At 4:30, kids, you pick up your free cup of Coca-Cola and the Balfour sausage roll. So plenty on here tomorrow night, and of course plenty on Tuesday night with that big place between South Australia and Western Australia.
Eight scoring shots to 1 in the second term, and the Crows lead at half-time, 6-10 to 5 goals. Modra with 2 goals and Schwartz with 2 for the Demons. Earlier today at the MCG, Collingwood over West Coast in an upset. Terrific last term by the Maggies. 6 goals to 2, a record last quarter haul by Collingwood. They won 18-13 to 12-12. Don Scott's in the Sports World studio tonight. Don was at the match commentating. And Don, I guess one of the surprises, not only the result, but only 27,000 at the match.
Yes, disappointing, Bruce. I wonder where they all went. Probably, as I did expect, the West Coast would really overrun Collingwood, but Collingwood played with a lot of emotion and adrenaline today, as we see here, and this is the start of the game, just after the first bounce. Have a look at Tony Shaw's face, and this was typical of Collingwood in the first half, and I thought, well, this mob are really pumped up, and they were pumped up. This is Gavin Brown, the captain. Now, he really took a risk. He got a free kick out of this. He really shouldn't have got, well, there's the free kick, but I thought the first one might have been a little early. And here's Shaw also. Now, these efforts really did inspire the team because McGuan capitalised on that real gutsy effort by Tony Shaw. Excellent effort. And as I said earlier, it was a case of could Collingwood hang on. This young fellow here, Tranquilli, came in, played in the forward pocket, kicked 6 goals, an excellent effort. I wonder where he's been. Well, and can he produce next week?
Yeah, well, he's only played a couple of matches going in today, and Brett Heady also had a very good haul, didn't he? 6 of the first 8 for West Coast.
Well, that's right, and he had 6 goals with 6 kicks, but you can't take anything away from Alan Richardson. He did particularly well as well. But the good thing was Collingwood came out with no injuries, Bruce.
Well, who are your votes, Don, for the Sports World Player of the
Year?
Year?
I gave 3 to Nathan Buckley, Damien Monkhurst, and also Christian, you can see there, but you've got to give apologies to Tranquilli, Fraser and Krasiska. Heady and Banfield were good players for West Coast.
And Don, you spoke with Buckley, didn't you, after the match?
Yeah, well, we did speak with him, but Robert DiPierdomenico was down there, Bruce.
Now, you met every challenge today, the side did?
Yeah, I think after our performance last week, every bloke knew that he had to lift a bit, and there wasn't much said during the week, and there wasn't much said in the rooms before the game today, but I think there was all the blokes were quite resolute to pick up on last week's performance.
And where do you think you won the game?
I think the game was won with our style of play. I think we chipped it around a bit last week, and we kicked a lot longer this week. I think our hardness at the ball was similar to what it had been against Hawthorn and Adelaide earlier in the month, about 4 weeks ago. So I think that's a part of the game that Collingwood sort of thrives on, but definitely our use of the ball was a lot better today.
In your own game, terrific to be playing well again?
Yeah, it feels good to play a good game. It makes you appreciate it because after the shocker last week, you come in the rooms and you just wish you could have it all over again. But 6 days later, I think it definitely feels a lot better coming off the ground playing well.
The Big Dipper with Nathan Buckley. Thanks for that, Don Scott. A reminder, a healthy slab of the last quarter will be played for all the Collingwood fans around Australia at the completion of this match tonight. We'll have a summary of the Footscray Sydney game after this break.
That's what I like about life. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
Man, 10, I tell you.
Terry.
G'day, Bruce.
Terry, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, matey. Bruce, I got a bit of a tongue twister with the $20,000 Challenge Bank Sports World votes.
He asked you.
Stephen's asking whether you could
I'll do that. Yep.
Because otherwise I'll go blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no worries. Just tell Wonder that Robbo's got his tie on, by the way.
Robbo's got his tie on.
He'll be pleased to hear that.
He's very happy with that.
He's very okay. Now, Terry, obviously Grant and Osborne were good.
Yeah, Grant more so. Osborne got 3 in the last quarter when the game was over and done with.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to get in, Bruce, that Footscray just led all day and have really kept their finals chances alive here.
Well, when you look at the draw, they'd have to have a sniff now, wouldn't they? In the next couple of weeks, well, I think they've got Fitzroy a bye and then Richmond, haven't they?
Definitely, yeah. And so, you know, and I mean, Brian's putting pressure on me with my amount of video highlights I've got, so I'd like to move into those pretty smartly.
No worries, mate.
Yeah?
Good on you, Terry.
Thank you, Brucey.
We're in the long break at Football Park. The Crows leading the Demons 6-10 to 5 goals. In Melbourne today at the Western Oval, Footscray thrashed the Sydney Swans 2014, 134 to 9, 660. Grant got 6 and Osborne 5 and Minton Connell got 3 for the Swans. Terry Wheeler, the ex-Footscray coach at the Western Oval today. And Terry, Chris Grant particularly, a great sign for Footscray for their finals hopes.
Definitely so, Bruce. To have a full forward in form as Chris Grant is, it gives them a very good run into the game. And here in the highlights we can actually see the start that Footscray got through Richard Osborne. Grant moving very well onto the ball, extremely strong hands all day, and down to his partner in crime, Big Ilya Grigic. Bruce, this combination of Grant and Grigic is a very, very awesome one. Certainly, Sydney had very few good players on the day, Bruce. Darren Kapler was one who tried all day, Dale Lewis, perhaps Peter Philandia, matched to Tony Liberatore, but they didn't have all that much going at all. I mean, their forward line, Kickett here kicks his only goal, a big barrel just on the half-time siren, but their forward line was extremely poor. Even in this piece of play here, they had the opportunity to kick a goal in the third quarter, but muff it up. Brereton didn't reappear after half-time. He spent the game on the interchange bench from there, and even Minton Connell was on the interchange bench.
Terry, it's ironic, isn't it, that on a day where the Brereton and Osborne were both on the ground, Footscray had a chance to recruit Brereton, and they went for Osborne last year, and at least today it worked for them, Osborne getting 5 and Brereton playing little part.
It certainly did, Bruce, and he was a very valuable contributor. But this young boy, Scott West, a great goal there to finish the game off for them, and he was clearly the best player on the ground for mine, Bruce.
Well, Footscray have got a chance, Terry, with Fitzroy, a bye, and then Richmond. Give us your votes for the $20,000 Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year.
Yes, Bruce. Chris Grant at full forward certainly was the focal point for the side with 6 goals. Simon Atkins returning into the side for the second week now and running into good form. But young Scott West, the left footer, tremendous game right throughout and was a very solid contributor all throughout the day. Bruce, after the game, I was able to catch up with young Scott West in the Footscray rooms. Scotty, congratulations, a great game of football. In the mix with Leon Cameron, Libba and Simon Atkins in the centre, where actually did you play today?
Well, I started on the wing and we sort of interchanged between the centre, rover, ruck rover, around there with Axe and Libba and Leon myself.
And who calls that, Scotty?
Axe and the senior blokes, so Axe sort of calls it. Which has probably been the biggest asset he's had since he's come back, his control of the centre and midfield.
He was very good today. I thought particularly the longer the game went, the more and more he became in charge of the game.
I think last week he got into it a bit, but this week I think he showed everyone that he's back to his true form.
Scott West with Terry Wheeler at the Gabba today. Brisbane, aren't they on with a run? 3 of their last 4 they've won. Geelong, North Melbourne, and now the Bombers they knocked off. 17-12 to 11-15. Lynch got 5, Pios 5. And a couple of reports, champion for Brisbane and Hardwick for Essendon. Now, Jared Healy's votes in the $20,000 Challenge Bank Sports World Player of the Year. Great to see Alistair Lynch really contributing to the Bears. Fletcher 2 and Hamilton 1. And after the match, Matthew Campbell caught up with Alistair Lynch.
And with me is the Sports World Player of the Day, Alistair Lynch. Congratulations, Alistair. A fine game from yourself.
Well, thanks, Matty. I mean, it was great just to get a win the first time against Essendon in a league match.
Yeah, that's true. Now, looking at your own game, started the year at full forward, now you've moved out to centre forward and covering a lot more territory.
Yeah, I suppose when I come back from collarbone, I wasn't real fit, so I mean they had to hide me in the forward pocket, next to Rog. But now, the team's playing a lot better, and I'm a bit fitter, and I've been on the end of some good work, especially today.
Now, the Bears have options up forward, which they may not have had in the past. Pios, yourself and Roger Merritt really makes it a 3-pronged attack.
Yeah, Rog, I think Roger's going to play for another 3 years where he's going. He's playing really well. Paul Pios, the long straight leads, he's getting a lot of grabs each game. So, they're 2 great options to have there.
Now, it's been a terrific month for the Bears. Of course, the one lost against West Coast, and you're obviously trying to keep that going for Collingwood next week.
Yeah, we haven't thought too much about the Collingwood game, but obviously it's a big game for us, and they're hot and cold, and we're on the way up now, so we've just got to make sure we have a good contest again next week.
Well, they shut the gates today at the Gabba. They reckon it's a sellout already next week, Collingwood and Brisbane. The winners today so far, Collingwood, Footscray and Brisbane. And you've seen the best players and the goal kickers on our wrap. We take a break, second half from Footy Park after this.
That's what I like. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
Checking the bouncing pattern, centre sweep. First time with the centre side treatment. we told you earlier, start training here at the ballpark. The drive tomorrow night, so come and see both teams train. South Australia at 5 o'clock and Western Australia at 6:30. And please welcome back Melbourne as they make their entrance back in the football park. The kitchen with your draft, the state starts between 4:30 and 4:50 tomorrow night. At State Training, also kids at 4:30, you can pick up your free cup of Coca-Cola and Belfast sausage roll with a compliments of Coca-Cola and Belfast. Then Tuesday night, the big state place.
Welcome back to Football Park. Neil Curley on the boundary line. Curls, let's start with Doyle from Melbourne's point of view. Will he take his place in the second half of the Demons?
I'd be very surprised if he did. His left knee has been strained. They examined it very closely just prior to half-time, and I don't think he'll take any further part in the game, Bruce.
You saw it exactly the same way as us. Adelaide had a chance to kill it off and haven't done so?
Well, I guess a quarter of footy runs for about 28 minutes, and I'd say that the Crows had the ball forward of centre for about at least 20 minutes of that quarter and just converted a couple of goals and too many points. They could have really killed the game off. They were playing well, but the significant thing tonight in watching the Crows perform as their weak performance over the last few weeks is that their players are having a red-hot go. And that's all a coach and supporters can ask for. It doesn't matter about the result, but if the players in the side are having a red-hot go, the result will come, and we're seeing that tonight from this Crows side.
Wren made a difference at centre-half forward.
Well, Wren's a very talented player. You're looking at 6'9" there. It takes a very good centre-half back, and Primke is a good nullifier. But Wren, through his boundary work on the rucks, got his foot to the ball on, 4 occasions, but didn't score a goal.
Any late thoughts? What's your feeling here?
Well, I thought Brown may have been on a fraction earlier. I was calling him about 7 minutes before they actually put him on, because he is a very smart forward pocket player and can pinch a goal for you.
What do you mean you were calling for him? Is that true what they say about you on the boundary line? Calling the shots. Thanks, Curls.
Thank you, Bruce.
Bernie, changes?
Well, I think Primke's starting on the bench. He did play centre-half back in the first half, so it'd be interesting to see who's playing centre-half back now. Maybe, let me see, I think Neitz is back to centre-half back for the Demons. Doyle still on the bench with Peter Road.
Jakovic at full forward, 6-10 to 5 goals, start of the second half. Wren and Steins against one another. Schwartz, who kicked 2 goals in the opening term. Tingay's handball. Steins try run out of the air. Rouvray paves away. Good footy, gets it up towards half forward. A bit going on in the centre. Crowd right onto that. Gilbert, Rashudo well played to Brown. Brown making a bit of a meal of it, kept it in the long run, but took too long, and Yates was able to cut across and take a saving mark in front of Liptak at half-back. The veteran. On the best first-year player at Melbourne way back in 1984. Chalmers wins the tap. Tregenza, the tackle on him was good. Rashudo tries to break the tackle. Handball coming back from Chalmers. Taking forever to get rid of it. McDermott, McGuinness there. McDermott's tackle on. Then Brown on the up. Good handball to Jarman. Sidestep, good left foot pass, okay. Gets Liptak at about 40 metres within range.
Yes, good use of the ball there by Jarman. Certainly around midfield, very skilled, the Adelaide Crows. Liptak's had plenty of the ball in this first half also, the first half of the game.
Starts it to the right, still going to the right, in play, through for behind 4 kicks and 9 handballs for Liptak. He kicked a goal in that second term, so the Crows at 6-11 to 5 goals.
Well, I think, Bruce, if Melbourne were to get anything out of this match, they really need Jimmy Steins to stand up in this second half and be counted.
Yeah, I just wonder how fit he is, Bernie.
Well,
and,
he's
you pay a penalty if you play unfit players.
He's gone across that white line, Robbo, and there's no excuses for him now.
No, I do understand that, but it's very, very difficult when you go in with unfit players. And you can see there, he could have made up maybe another half a metre and taken that mark. But he's strapped up. We've already mentioned that in the first half, Jimmy Steins.
Well, it's about time he tested the injury to see how bad it is.
Well, he's doing the ruck work with Pittman. Over the back, McDermott couldn't break through. Liptak, Andrew Jarman overruns it and then just gets his foot to it to keep it in front of himself, and then gets a handball away for Brown. But the kick was smothered off the boot. Chance now for Viney. They're approaching half forward. Short kick. Lyon couldn't take the mark, and Jamison, well, he looked a little disappointed with that decision. The free kick will go to the Melbourne captain, Gary Lyon.
A little bit softer free. Gary
Lyon, he's kicking towards full forward. High over the top was hard. He couldn't take the mark. Tregenza. Schwartz is there to try and hold it up for the Melbourne side, about 35 metres out from their goal. And there's the Crows' interested bench. And Ingerson, Powell. Couldn't quite catch the third one there. Mail, was it? The Ruckman go at it. Demons, well, they really haven't scored. There's Sullivan. A snapshot across the face of goal. It may go out of bounds in the opposite back pocket. No, it's tidied up there by Ben Hart. Away to Chalmers. Chalmers has got Maynard in support. Good running, good support running there by the Crows players. The ball kicked down towards the wing. Taken away by Rashudo, but a free kick has been picked out of it. Was it to Wren? And he's on centre wing.
Couple of marks. Half a dozen kicks, but he's had a much bigger impact than the stats would suggest. Good kick to Modra and a splendid mark at full pace.
It's been a good move by the Crows, changing the two big players at centre-half forward, Wren and Pittman.
Modra to the goal square. Steins getting back, punches it through, concedes a behind. 6-12 to 5 goals. 18 scoring shots to 5.
Well, that really does tell the tale of the game, doesn't it, Bruce? Adelaide has dominated. Just hasn't been able to get the goals on the board. They've had about 80% of the play, I would think.
28 more kicks, 13 more handballs and 6 more marks.
And yet this game is still very much alive. 3 goals the difference. Gilbert down towards Neitz, who takes the mark at centre-half back. Terrific player since coming into the team last year. Hasn't missed a match. Phoebe runs off. Stephen it was. Goes to Tingay. Tingay, Steins running. Lyon and also Schwartz. Some talent here for the Demons, but they've made a mess of it. Schwartz goes to ground. Handball on the up line. Well done to Tingay. Inside 50. Big kick coming up. Left footer floater. Going to ground. Jakovic, Wellman running it towards the pocket. Still in play. Still there. A trip surely on the Crows. No Sullivan. What a kick got behind. Gee, looked a half a chance from here. Thought a Crow player got tripped there in the pocket, but behind are the Demons, and they've spoilt the average. It's 5-1 to 6-12.
It's a long time between drinks as far as their scoring is concerned. Ben Hart goes in towards the back pocket region.
Danger, Robert.
Gary Lyon overruns it. Just gets his right foot to it. Well picked up there by Jamieson. And Jamieson comes clear. He's very talented, Jamieson. That left foot kick was a good clearing kick, but it's Yates to mop up. And he gets around onto the right foot, kicks into the centre. This is an important possession. Not taken by Brett Lovett. He goes after it again and drags it in underneath.
Well, McDermott.
Terrific stuff there by the Crows skipper.
That's a danger, Robbo, of kicking to a stationary player. Brett Lovett there, just waiting and hoping. And McDermott able to get there and spoil.
Steins can't jump. Pittman gives it away. Yates a quick kick towards half forward. The bouncing ball, awkward for Sullivan, but he made it good and got round onto the right foot, kicked in towards the centre half forward position. Jakovic is marked on his chest. I don't know what happened there to Ben Hart, but
the crowd suggesting there was a push out. Let's have a look at it again in replay.
I think he just ran underneath it in the finish.
Maybe a slight nudge there from Jakovic.
Well, Jakovic has kicked one. He's kicking from 50 metres. He gets good distance. It's onto the goal line. It'll be cleared by Wellman. He gives it away to McDermott. McDermott goes down towards the wing. Yates gets back and gives the hand pass away to the captain. Lyon, a short kick. It's effective. The mark is taken by Steins, and that ball went 11 metres. Steins, very, very mediocre there, the statistics. He's kicked towards full forward. It's punched away there by Pittman. It rebounds. Brett Lovett forced to kick with the left. Gets good distance to the goal square. No mark. Lyon, no, it's tidied up by Ben Hart. He gets it to Scott Lee. Lee's kick goes down the boundary line. Jarman and Brett Lovett. The ball spills to the back. Brett Lovett the first to recover. Gets a hand pass by, gee, that was awkward for Tom Viney. The Shepherd not bad. Brett Lovett over his head to Glenn Lovett. Well, it slipped through his hands. McGuinness is the tackler, and the ball held in. The umpire will bounce.
Well held up by the Adelaide Crows there. The Melbourne bench, Primke, Peter Rode and Greg Doyle, who's Neil Curley says has an injured left knee, so he probably won't be back on.
6-12, 5-1 the score at Footy Park. Jarman over the top. Norris there, and again a bounce down. And we've had a lot of them in that first half. Goals hard to get here tonight. Pittman and Steins.
Steins gets to the front, wins the tap, gives Phoebe the run of it. Viney's handball intercepted by McDermott to Rouvray, who was spinning when he took it. The tackle on him pretty good. Holding the footy.
Pretty tough. Pretty tough.
I'd like the umpire to get into that posse when Gary Lyon applied the tackle. He wouldn't have been able to get rid of the ball either, would he?
No hope.
Lyon from centre wing. Oh, here's a Melbourne player all on his own at half forward, and Glenn Lovett was going on, decided against it. He's right on the 50. Goes short again for Schwartz and gets him. Some loose checking by the Crows, and Schwartz now will kick from about 35 metres. He kicked 2 goals in the opening term. He's had a very good year. He's kicked 28 goals so far this season. Runs around a little to improve the angle. Good looking kick by Schwartz. Just missing, and it's 5-2 to 6-12.
2 goals, 1 now to David Schwartz. The other move Melbourne's made is bringing on Martin Pike, and he's playing in the forward line, probably the forward pocket.
Well, awkward kick there by Ben Hart, quickly picked off there by Gary Lyon. His kick goes close to the line. It's over on the full in the finish, so the free kick will go to Adelaide to be taken in the left back pocket by Scott Lee. Lee plays on quickly, kicks it down near the wing, and pushing out Neats. And the free kick will go to Sean Wren. And again, the umpire in a terrific posse there. About 20 metres off to the left-hand side of the players. Sean Wren kicks it down where Maynard has made good position. Maynard quickly up to the 50-metre line. And a good stretch and mark taken by Risciuto over the top of Gilbert.
Pittman's off for Adelaide and Nickerson on.
Well, Risciuto would be a chance from here. Lovely long kick to the goal square. Modder up high, too early. Well, I would have deemed that a free kick because he's interfering with the player underneath him in Sean White. Nothing happening there, so boundary throw-in will take place in the right forward pocket for Adelaide. 6-10 at half-time they were to 5 goals straight. Big knock there by Ingerson. Taken away by Matthew Phoebe. Kicks it quickly to a vacant wing area. The race on between Tingay and Tregenza. Tregenza hand pass, good. Maynard running into the pocket. Short mark taken there by Stephen Phoebe. Short kick again. Steins has got to get this. It was an important possession. And he's marked at right half back. Gives the hand pass away. Matthew Phoebe from the right half back area kicks towards half forward. Lyon made a good contest of it. Ring gets the handball to Jarman. Jarman was caught, but he got the handball away to Tregenza. He's caught by Charles. Very important possession here. McGuinness is caught, brilliantly tackled.
A couple of magnificent tackles there. Weren't there, Robbo, from the Melbourne side?
My word. The tackling,
Viney.
The tackling, the effectiveness of the tackling is improving every year.
That man there, Stephen Tingay, terrific stuff. And also Charles involved in that also. Here it is, Tingay ties up Tony McGuinness. Terrific.
Charles over the top. Jarman spins and weaves. Handball giving it away. Viney. Well, he was almost mugged there, you'd feel. McDermott. Jarman. Tregenza. Little chip pass. Looking wide for Ingerson. Can he get it over to Modra? Well played by White. He left Modra, took a chance. Lovett pushes it off the ground. Goes with Rouvray. Goes to ground. Rouvray puts the tackle on. A wrestle there. White and Ingerson. And it's going to be a ball up.
Terrific contest between those two players.
Sean White there committing himself, had to go. Modra over the top, had Ingerson been able to get it to him. Still just 16 points the difference in this match. 2.5 kicks the Demons are away. Yates, free kick going to Steins.
Soft one. Jimmy Steins really needs to stand up.
He's had 2 or 3 kicks in the last 4 or 5 minutes, hasn't he? Norrish at half forward. Not a good kick. Wren getting back, misses the mark. Charles, Wren goes to ground, tries a handball to Maynard. Maynard's handball under pressure. Wellman, very promising. Handball under pressure again, gives it up. Schwartz didn't do a good job at all there. Gave it to Maynard. Maynard to Chalmers, a bit too easy for the Crows that time, as far as Melbourne's concerned. Ingerson, good grab and paid the mark at centre wing.
It was such an important slip by David Schwartz back in the half-forward line for Melbourne. Now the ball is down in the Crows' full-forward area. Grabbed by the jumper was Modra. No free kick. Phoebe in a lot of strife back there. He'll give away a behind. That's Stephen Phoebe. And a score is added for the Crows. 9 minutes left in the third term. They progress to 6-13. Melbourne 5-2. So the Crows have kicked 3 points in this third quarter. and Melbourne have kicked 2. The kick in has been marked by Gilbert. He'll go short once again and get it back to Phoebe. He kicks it down towards the wing. Contest there, it was pretty good. Jarman it is to collect the football and kick it back towards half forward. The ball spills now for Steins. He's got to go after it again, but he's beaten for it by the more nimble Rashudo. Try to kick out of mid-air there, Mark Rashudo, unsuccessful, and the ball spills over for a throw-in. Time remaining, 8 3/4 minutes in the third quarter, and a really, really tight contest we've got on our hands. Melbourne need a score. And they don't need behinds. They need a couple of goals. Matthew Phoebe now rebounds for Viney. He's tackled by Tregenza. And eventually a free kick has been picked out. It's going to Matthew Phoebe at, well, it's between right back pocket and half back for Melbourne, about 40 metres from the Crows' goal. The kick goes out towards the wing where the mark has been taken by Steins.
He is presenting himself at the moment. Steins has had a few touches of late to centre wing. Schwartz. Pike too slow, ducked his head.
Caught, gone.
Play on called. McGuinness. Gee, Melbourne had chances there. They had 3 players running with Pike to take a handball. McDermott got it from Tregenza. Wiedemann, long bomb. Misses a behind. 6-14 to 5-2. We're back to a 3-goal game here. 1 goal, 12 the difference. And Pike with a chance with a Demon player streaming past him.
Yeah, the opportunity was lost very quickly, though, because Adelaide tackling very ferociously here at Football Park. Completely different to last week when they were thumped by North Melbourne to the tune of 80 points.
So inhibited that day, weren't they?
Weren't they?
The Optus Oval. But so daring tonight. Such a difference. Yates goes long. Mail getting ready to come on for the Crows. Steins, great tackle. Handball. Neats, little one off the ground, didn't go far. Lee was there. Jarman was there. How many balls up if we had?
I reckon it's a record.
I said balls up, didn't I?
Well, there's been a few of those during the night too, Bruce.
I just made the biggest one.
A bounce of the ball, and Steins, I'd say there'd be a record if you had a chance, because it's been a very, very tight contest. And sometimes you watch games of football like this and you lose a bit of interest. But this has been interesting right from the start. Gary Lyons taken a great mark between the centre and centre-half forward positions. Kick it to Schwartz.
His first mark, Robbo, and Liptak off for Adelaide. Mail coming back on.
Short kick, he finds Glenn Lovett. Looking for a lead. It's very tight. Both forward lines struggling for any sort of cohesion. The kick to the front of the goals. It's taken by Chalmers. He gets the handball to McDermott. Into McGuinness. Short. He finds Brown. Brown able to run away. Kicks it in towards centre-half back. Gathered by Tregenza. You're in trouble. Oh, down goes Jamison. Tackle was too high from Sullivan. Jamison takes the free kick at centre-half back. He takes a gamble. By gee, this is risky. Chalmers marks. He could have nearly been classified as playing on there. Steins had him, then let him go, and Chalmers got the kick away to Lee. So Lee is near the wing. He gets the hand pass to Maynard. Maynard will kick in the Modra direction. Ducking back. He gets behind Sean White. A push into back. Surely, and the umpires in a great posse. No free kick. Melbourne clear through. Stephen Phoebe. He finds Glenn Lovett at left half back.
Still not a goal in this third term by either team. Lovett wide, looking for Steins, punched away by Maynard. Free kick to Steins. Let's look at Modra one a moment ago.
Yeah, it looked like a very clear push in the back, didn't it? There it is. No doubt about it.
Steins up towards centre wing. McGuinness read it pretty well at the back. Schwartz tapped it back. McGuinness roving. Steins underneath it. Wiedemann contests. Stephen Phoebe, little handball. Norris keeps it in play. Only as far as Maynard. Well played. Just ran backwards and got away from Lovett and then got away from Norris. Then the centering kick towards full forward. White taps it forward. By the way, Liptak off the ground for the Crows and Mail on. Yates runs it out. 6-14 to 5-2 here at the park.
You know, it's going to come down about the last 10 minutes of fitness, isn't it? I mean, they've both been throwing each other at the football, these two teams, and it's been a terrific physical contest.
Well, the stakes are so high here, a win and a loss after the results we've had over the last week and a half, with Footscray making a run, Brisbane and Richmond making runs, and Collingwood winning today. It's a double-barrel result here to both teams. Melbourne can jump to fourth if they win. If the Crows lose, they're going to be right down in the cellar.
Well, they're still in front by 3 goals. Yates was held. No free kick. McGuinness plays on and kicks it back.
nearly 18-minute mark of this third quarter with Tony McGuinness. Here we see the ruck contest. Yates may have been held momentarily, but McGuinness swooping on the ball and kicking his second. He kicked one in the first quarter. 2 goals straight now to Tony McGuinness.
7-14 Adelaide, 5-2 Melbourne. Difference is out to 24 points. Ruck contest. Wren takes it away, gets it to McGuinness, kick smothered off the boot. All those little things close in have been fantastic by both sides. Glenn Lovett off the left foot, in towards full forward, good kick. Mark taken by Djakovic in front of Ben Hart. He plays on, he sweeps and kicks it in towards Steins, and he's taken the mark. Wren not quite quick enough to regroup there, and Jimmy Steins has got the football only 35 metres out directly in front.
He has presented himself pretty well this in this third quarter, big Jimmy Steins. Absolutely really useless last week with that big knee brace on. Couldn't do a thing against Carlton.
Steins kicks for goal, and I think he's just sneaked it through. It's a goal. So Melbourne get the answering goal quite quickly, and they progress to 6-2, and the difference again back to 18 points. The Crows are 7-14.
Here we see Djakovic playing on quickly. He was too far out to score himself. Jimmy Steins presenting himself, getting down to the centre half forward position. Sean Wren just not able to get a hand to that ball. And Jimmy Steins hasn't kicked a lot of goals this year, only 8 now for the season.
Still they hang in, the Demons, at 6-2 to 7-14. What a lopsided scoreboard it is as far as shots for goal concerned. 21-8. Tregenza's left foot. Underneath it was Neitz. Surely a free kick against Brown, and Neitz to come back to take it. The 19-year-old who's played 32 consecutive matches since making his debut gives that up too quickly to Tregenza. Big turnover here. Jarman, Modra.
It was all over, wasn't it? Jarman will make you pay. Get in the open like that.
Well, let's see if Modra can make it pay for 6 points. His kicking has only been average tonight. He's kicked 2-2. Really should goal from here. 35 metres out. Good looking kick. It's a goal. A big bad blunder by Neitz. 3 goals to Modra, and the Crows 8-14 to 6-2.
Yes, as I said, Bruce, once that mistake was made by David Neitz, it was pretty hard to work out who he was trying to kick the ball to, because the only player there really was Simon Tregenza. And that's where they're very good around midfield. They don't mess around with the ball. They get it on very quickly. When their handball's working, there's no better team in the competition than the Adelaide Crows.
Well, Wren didn't mess around. He bashed it towards centre-half forward, was gathered by Neitz. He's kicked back towards half forward. Sullivan held by Lee. Umpire didn't quite catch that. Underneath is Schwartz. Now a free kick has been picked out. It'll go to Adelaide. It may be Tregenza, the recipient, and he gets right on with the game. The boys are wrestling, but the Adelaide Crows go further forward. Ingerson, good bump. Ingerson rode it beautifully. Neitz has got him though. The ball spills to the 50-metre line. Wiedemann shrugs the tackle, gets the handball away. Play goes on. The kick is by Brown, was it? Into the full forward area, and registers a behind for the Crows.
Gee, there's a bit going on behind play, wasn't it?
The emergency umpire was having a close look at Schwartz.
Nearly got bowled over himself, Bernie, the emergency umpire. Nearly went to ground at one stage.
Sean White coming off for Melbourne, Primke coming back on.
Big move, taking White off Modra at this stage. He's kicked 3, Modra.
Limping slightly, Sean White.
Wren against him to Steins. It's been his best term, Big Jimmy, the Brownlow medalist from 91. He's had 5 marks, 8 kicks, 4 handballs. Not a good kick. Chalmers unable to. Schwartz didn't really contest. Tingate, back handball okay. Norwich free kick maybe to McGuinness, not paid.
Should be a free kick to McGuinness. Bundled over the line by Schwartz.
Couldn't believe it, could he?
So I tell you what, well, if the crowd could get hold of these umpires, look out.
63 to 38 the scoreline. Wren wins the tap. McGuinness played that brilliantly against Viney. Little handball to Tregenza, back to McGuinness. Held up by Tingay. Viney there,
down.
still in play.
He was taken high, surely again, Tony McGuinness.
Now advantages with Melbourne.
And Schwartz kicks towards Djakovic on a long lead. McGuinness has picked himself up. Djakovic under pressure and out of play. Doesn't
doesn't seem the same cocky, flamboyant Djokovic at the moment, does he? He hasn't got the same confidence or flair.
Yeah, let's have a look at McGuinness, where he's taken high. Well, maybe not taken high. It certainly looked as if it was in actual play, but looking at the replay, it looked as if it could have been around the chest.
Line trying to break through originally, and again held up with Pike underneath it. The Demons wanting a goal before three-quarter time. It's 6-2 to 8-15.
Oh, it's tight footy, and the umpire not bothering to bounce it. He's throwing it in the air, and it's bashed back towards the wing, gathered by Tregenza. Tries to get the hand pass to Andrew Jarman. Oh, missing it was Steins. Jarman, brilliantly done in the finish. He just kept on persisting. The ball now with Brown. Brown approaching the 50-metre line. Kicks to the goal square. At the back, Modra. Pripke was pretty good. They'll force it over the Demons defenders. And it will be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Adelaide. And Neil Curley on the boundary line.
Yes, Sean White has a left leg strain. I think it's an upper thigh, and he could be doubtful for the rest of the game.
Body blow there. Doyle and White both out of business, it seems, for the Demons. Gilbert couldn't break a tackle. Adelaide hungry for a late goal in this third quarter. They've slowly got on top, 8-15 to 6-2. On top on the scoreboard. They've been on top in the general field play from the outset. Melbourne's 3 late goals in the first quarter have kept them in touch nearly all night. It's the way it's worked out. Matthew Phoebe over the top of it. Stein's got a high one from Wiedemann. And again a ball up with Adelaide within 20 metres of the goal. Steins, Ingerson to do the ruck work. Steins just down to Mail. He couldn't break the tackle. McGuinness should give him a chance from here. High one, no, not this time. Hooks it out of bounds on the fall. He just kept running away from the goal, didn't he?
His stats have been good though, Tony McGuinness. 16 kicks, 17 kicks now, and 5 hand passes, and 2 important goals.
Yeah, they were important. The one that broke the deadlock up in this term, and that freak goal in the first quarter. Ingerson went high. Tingay off the side of the boot, out on the fall.
Now that's the pressure that really Adelaide's applied all night. Completely different Adelaide side than the one that fronted up to Optus Oval last week against North Melbourne.
Jamison takes line on. Time ticking away. Goes to full forward. Looking for Modra. Siren sounds before the mark can be taken. And at three-quarter time at Footy Park, the Crows lead by 25 points, 8-15 to 6-2. 2-5 to the Crows, 1-2 to Melbourne in the third term, and Adelaide have got a big break now. 8 goals, 15, 63 to 6-2, 38. Round 14, some fascinating matches on paper. North Melbourne Carlton will be a blockbuster Friday night. The team that wins that will be second on the ladder behind West Coast. On Saturday, Geelong and West Coast, a big match, particularly after West Coast lost today. Adelaide, St Kilda, how important is that for the Crows? Footscray and Fitzroy would both have a sniff at the 8 after their wins on the weekend. Melbourne and Richmond, another very big game. On Sunday, Brisbane and Collingwood. Well, you call that the most important match in the history of the Brisbane Football Club. If they could win that, they're right up there with the 8. And Essendon would be the hottest of hot favourites to beat Sydney in Melbourne. But it's one of the best rounds on paper we've had all year. Hawthorn get the bye. Well, Neil, Adelaide, it's been a hard night for them, but you'd think now that they've got a winning break.
Yes, Bruce, it seems that way, and there's not a lot Neil Baum can do now. He's been hamstrung to a certain degree with the loss of Doyle and White, so he hasn't got a lot of options to play around with, and I just think they've got to rely, Melbourne, on their courage now and their commitment and a bit of their old tradition to get back into this game and try and... I thought they came out in that third quarter then, particularly early, and had a red-hot go, with Steins leading in particular by example around the ground. But Adelaide absorbed the pressure and they withstood that problem. Then they came back towards the end of that quarter and presented Melbourne with a lot of problems with their around-the-ball situation. They are very strong, Jarman in particular. Tregenza was good on his wing, and they just found a little bit of penetration up forward. And all the Crows have to do now is keep that pressure on this quarter, and I think they'll run out winners.
Neil, you've coached a lot of football over the years. What in this situation, in a tight game where there hasn't been a lot of flow, what sort of things would you be saying if you're in Neil Baum's shoes to the players?
Well, it's very difficult because the ball's spending a lot of time on the ground. There's a lot of tacklings, there's been a lot of ball ups, and there's a lot of congested play, and it's just a matter of persevering, keeping at it, and just hoping you can get a bit of a lucky break. That's all there is, because Lyon's been well held, Charles has been held. They haven't had a dominant forward whatsoever since Swartz was good early.
Take some risks.
They've all been held now. They haven't got a lot of options.
Would you say take some risks? Well, if you're going to go down with risk taking.
Well, you're 4 goals down. You've only kicked about 5, so you're 4 down. So you have to take some risk. You're not going to win this game by playing safety first now. If Melbourne want to win it, they've got to take some risks and lose it by 10. They're going to lose it by 4.
Thanks for that, Curls. Good on you, Neil Curley on the boundary line. Graham Corns. Well, he knows the importance of this match tonight for Adelaide. We look at third quarter stats. Melbourne got plenty of kicks. Adelaide had a heap of handballs, as many handballs as they had kicks. Centre breaks all in favour of the Crows. Significant there. 4-0. 8:15, 6-2 at Footy Park. 63-38. Well, Bernie Quinn and Melbourne having so many problems kicking goals.
Been disappointing tonight, Bruce. I saw them last week against Carlton. They were very competitive, but tonight they've been outplayed in most areas. Their forwards just haven't had enough of the ball to kick goals. Jakovic is quiet. Gary Lyon's been down. Schwartz has been down. They've really had nothing across half forward. Adelaide have had the numbers to the ball and certainly deserve this lead.
25-point margin, final term. Two teams that have been in horrible form over the last 6 weeks. Just 2 wins between them in the last 11 matches. Jarman's kick up to half forward. Ingerson, he spent most of the time on the interchange. Back to Rouvray. Glenn Lovett tries to hold him up. Rouvray's handball ineffective. Jarman had a big third quarter. Brett Lovett paddles it to the boundary line and forces it out of play.
There again, Bruce, another example of the support. They looked as if Melbourne could have forced their way forward, and Scott Lee came in to add the help that was so badly needed, and that's what they've done all night, Adelaide.
And forced Brett Lovett to be defensive when Melbourne had the numbers around the footy, didn't they? Off the ground by Rouvray. Chance here for Neitz. Handball, good one. Gets to Matthew Phoebe, runs from centre half back, high ball. Charles underneath it. Maynard at the back. Charles over the top. Tregenza's little handball. Schwartz's handball misses the target. Been disappointing since a terrific opening. Tingay back to Charles. A fumble. He's got a lot of pace. Jarman tries to run him down. Sullivan's handball inside to Phoebe. Okay. Phoebe misses Love at the bounce. Punch forward by Lee. Back to Charles. They're tired, some of these players. They've still got 30 minutes of footy to go. To fall forward. Great grab by Jakovic. To terrific mark. And maybe the spark the Demons need.
Yeah, maybe, Bruce. Jakovic has been pretty quiet, as I said. Coming in only for kick number 4. Gary Lyon hasn't had the influence he had on the game that he did last week. Jakovic from about 30 metres.
Looks like he's kicked the goal. He has, and the Demons have got the early one in the last. Well, it's what they needed to keep this match alive at 7-2 to 8-15. It was a terrific snatch.
Amazing, yeah, great mark by Djakovic. He's kicked 2 goals. He did start on the interchange bench, and Charles was good in that passage, Bernie.
Yes, he was. He's been pretty quiet. Been well held by Rodney Maynard, who's been terrific across half-back. There's a little tap out. Charles getting around Maynard this time, driving it long into the forward line. Djakovic at the back of Sean Hart, just reaching over and plucking that one out.
Well, just what the Demons needed at the start of the last quarter. The goals have been few and far between for them. Tregenza, little hand pass, goes past Rouvray. Glenn Lovett was good, holding it up, and he gets a pat on the head from one of his teammates. So it will start all over again. Centre breaks have been well in favour of the Crows. Now a chance for
free against Steins.
It's a free kick against Jimmy Steins in the ruck, and it'll go to Sean Wren. He'll kick Adelaide up to the 50-metre line. It goes out in front of Rashudo. He's too quick. He'll kick a goal, Mark Rashudo, and he does just that. Much too quick for Phil Gilbert. He gets his second goal, and Adelaide's ninth. They lead once again by 25 points.
It's back to the 3/4 time margin. Mark Rashudo has been excellent. The free kick against Jimmy Stein, setting this up for Adelaide to get the ball quickly into the forward line. Melbourne hasn't been able to get the numbers back there quickly enough to help out. The midfielders haven't been doing the same job as Adelaide's been doing. They've certainly assisted their defenders and got back there and helped all night.
Back to 25 points. Rashudo's second goal for the match. 9-15, 7-2. Viney and McGuinness have been running together most of the night. McGuinness off the ground. Schwartz tried one off the ground. Not a good attempt. Chalmers has handballed to McGuinness, who's had a lot of touches, as always. High and wide. Brown. Wiedemann. Listen to the big roar now. The Weed pops it over the top. Modra! No. Play on. Primke. And bounce about 40 metres away from the Adelaide goal. See the scoreboard in the background as we pan down towards the action on the ground. Terrific night here. Cool evening, lots of atmosphere. Packed house, 47,000 in attendance. Jarman and Viney together. Now Wiedemann over the top of it. Tries to crash his way through. Ingerson, Jarman caught. Can't get rid of it. Brett Lovett, didn't do very well at all. Tregenza, Jarman, a good finisher. Misses. Are behind. 9-16 to 7-2. Gee, Brett Lovett.
In a tight game, I think he just misjudged that. He must have thought there was someone around, surely. It was going to nab him. 9-16 to 7-2. And Primke, who's playing at full-back on Modra. Sean White has injured himself. Yates marks the kick in. Plays on quickly, kicks it wide, out towards the wing. At the back, Schwartz. Disciplined punch from behind. Tingay can't get past. Eventually gets the hand pass to Schwartz. He ducks and weaves and then gets a kick across his left shoulder up towards the half-forward area. Lyon and then Sullivan. Did that come off the toe of his boot? Yes, it did, on the full. So the free kick to be taken by Scott Lee. Nearly up to the wing for the Crows. He kicks it past that position, nearly to half-forward. Missed by the players there, and Chris McDermott tries to move it on. David Schwartz is in there. Rashudo over the top, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to give Schwartz a bit of a run in the ruck, Robbo.
Yes, you got to throw it around a little bit. And the umpire not messing around. He just throws it straight in the air. Rashudo's little tap on. Schwartz gets his left foot to it. It goes back the Crows' way. Rouvray leaves it behind. Matthew Phoebe grabbed by the legs. The tackle not bad at the start, but it just slipped down around his legs as it tries to run on. Gets the handball to his brother Stephen. Stephen goes towards half forward. Out in front, Lyon falls over. Critical. Ball taken by Tingay. Gets the handball to Schwartz. Schwartz goes for goal number 3. It's not a bad looking kick, but it's, yes, a goal. Hit the post. Well, Schwartz thought it was a goal.
It shaved the post.
Well, the goal umpire signals are behind to Melbourne. 7-3 they are, and Adelaide 9-16. Wellman marks the kick in.
From Ben Hart, McGuinness to Chalmers at centre wing. Chalmers up towards Wren. Stein's in the front spot. Wren works his way around to the front. They both go to ground eventually. Brown taps it forward with a little handball. Gilbert intercepted by Tingay. Gets it back from Norrish. Tingay's kick up towards centre wing. Schwartz is there with Pike, and also Chalmers gets it back off Wellman to Maynard. Maynard run down, gets his kick away. All important ball. Line normally very skillful. Jakovic. Good play by the Demons. Jakovic has got a couple running on. He's just got to pop it over. Sullivan's got to make his mind up. Did he touch it? No! Goal! Jakovic has got his third. And the Demons are hanging in 8-3 to 9-16.
I think he could have got it to Sullivan if he really wanted to, Bruce, there, but I think Jakovic...
I thought that was maybe his idea, and he just kicked it a little too far.
Yes, maybe.
Give him the credit anyway.
Give him the credit for it, but 3 goals now to Jakovic after starting the game on the interchange bench. Here it is. Maybe an attempted pass.
Oh, gee, we just had a close look at the replay there, and Chris Sullivan nearly put his fingertips on that football. Overrunning it as Pike, taken away by Wellman, nearly tackled by Charles, but he got his kick away. Towards half-forward, the mark is taken by Ingerson. Crows players running everywhere. Wiedemann is the target. No, it's Modra out in front. Mail runs past it. Yates nearly got his hand to it. It rebounds to Graham Yates. Oh, down he goes. High tackle. Free kick to Yates. Yates it is for Melbourne. He kicks it wide. Player on his own. Out wide is Pike. He can play on. He kicks it down towards half forward. Too far there for Schwartz and Chalmers, and it goes over for a boundary throw in. Look at the crowd in the background. They pack it in here at Football Park.
41,000, Robbo, here tonight.
Amazing, Bernie. They just keep coming to watch the Crows play football, and their form over the past few weeks has been pretty ordinary. Melbourne trying to get the ball clear of the pack there. It's Martin Pike underneath all that. Oh, look at that. Tumble of players. Tony McGuinness down there, and the umpire forced to bounce once again. There's only about 14 or 16 players away from where this centre bounce will take place, or this bounce will take place, should I say. Adelaide 9-16, Adelaide, Melbourne 8-3, and Schwartz to do the ruck work. And umpire deems that he had his arm or his hand on Sean Wren's shoulder, so Wren will take the free kick.
Chalmers at centre half back. Crows leading by 19 points. Demons still not out of this. Chalmers towards centre half forward. Long ball. Phoebe and Wiedemann. Well played by Stephen Phoebe. Sweeps the handball over to Matthew. Back to Stephen Phoebe. Breaks the Jarman tackle. Back to half forward, but there's a couple of Crows sitting underneath it. And Chalmers takes the mark. For Melbourne to win, Lyon and Schwartz and Jakovic have probably got to kick 4 goals between them in the last 14 minutes. A kick back to centre wing, taken by Matthew Phoebe. Again, the twin, Stephen runs off him to Norrish. Little chip pass. Melbourne gathering an attack here. Tingay at about 80 metres, a high ball. Schwartz in a reasonable position, takes the grab, a beauty.
Yeah, good mark, Schwartz.
Not out of this, Bernie.
No, they're just starting to mount something, Bruce. In the last 2 or 3 minutes, Melbourne certainly looking as if they're finishing the better. There's Schwartz out in front of Chalmers. Good grab. He's already kicked 2 goals to David Schwartz, and well within kicking distance.
Hit the post the last time it was deemed. Wouldn't a goal here lift the Demons' spirits? It'd give them some hope of winning this game. Only trailing by 19 points in a low-scoring game. Schwartz, normally a great kick for goal, lets loose and gives it a hook. Misses. 2-3 to Schwartz. Big roar from the Adelaide crowd.
He didn't really have to kick it that hard.
8-4
well within scoring distance.
To 9-16. 1 goal, 12 the difference. We're back to that 18-point margin.
Well, it's Ben Hart to kick it back in for Adelaide. Goes to the far side. Good mark. Wren has been terrific tonight.
Magnificent, Sean Wren. Jimmy Stein's down there behind play.
His 17th possession.
They need Jimmy back to his Brownlow form, don't they, of 1991.
Well, he gives the hand pass away to Jamieson. Jamieson runs through centre half back and kicks it in the direction of centre half forward, standing his ground and taking a well-judged mark in the finish is Gilbert for Melbourne. He'll have to move it on quickly. The Demons haven't got all night. His kick finds Lyon. Lyon looking to run on. He's got Schwartz down towards the half-forward area. The kick is too high. Schwartz comes in, dragged off the football. Jamieson, in goes Sullivan, dragged it in underneath. And you always risk being penalised when you dive on the football and drag it back in. On this occasion, Sullivan fortunate.
We saw a couple early, didn't we? That one against McDermott, which resulted in a Melbourne goal.
Schwartz doing the ruck work. Jamieson squeezes a kick out. Only goes as far as Matthew Phoebe. He kicks it back near the 50-metre line. Reading it quite nicely was Wren, who got back there to help out the defenders. And he's been a fantastic player for most of the evening. Sean Wren playing a lone hand in the ruck. He's got Pittman in assistance. His kick has been marked by his direct opponent, Jimmy Steins. And Steins is forward of the wing. He goes short. And the mark taken by Norrish, looking to play on. He does. He gets it to Neitz, and Neitz will kick Melbourne up to within scoring distance.
Jakovic, Wren. Jakovic brings it to ground. Sullivan, Charles, Lyon, under pressure, little left footer. Pike and McGuinness. McGuinness turns away, sweeps a handball out to Tregenza. Some good footy now. Jarman's on about 50 metres away. It'll probably get to him now. No, McDermott, too slow. Probably Tregenza should have run the line and kicked it to Jarman. And Adelaide would have been at centre wing with a loose man. Now McDermott's high ball. Gilbert gets to the front, takes a good mark. Big stretch.
And hurt himself too, Phil Gilbert.
Coming down right on his noggin by the look of it.
He started on the forward line.
Good
mark. Has moved back to the back line early when Rashudo started to get on top very quickly. That is a sensational mark by Phil Gilbert. May have hurt his shoulder or back. He's okay anyway.
Centre wing, Demons 18 points behind, still plenty of time for 3 goals to be kicked. Up to half forward, kicked forward by Pike, chance for Charles. Surely kicks a goal, goes for it and gets it. Not dead by a long way, this Demon side, at 9-4 to 9-16. It's the closest they've been for a long time.
Yes. 12 points now, and Adelaide making a change. Coming back on the ground is Pittman, and coming off is Ingerson. So obviously Graham Corn's pretty worried at this stage. 12 points, Melbourne can do anything. They can get back into this. All they need is some centre clearances from big Jimmy Steins, a big hard attack on the ball, and they're right in it.
Well, amazing stuff at Football Park. We've got a real contest as Sean Wren clears the centre again for the Crows. The kick towards half forward. A free kick has been played in that position to Mark Rashudo against Gilbert.
That's just what they didn't need, Melbourne. They needed a centre clearance there.
Rashudo runs up near the 50-metre line, kicks it to the goal square. It's a good kick. What a brilliant kick. It's a goal. Rashudo gets his third, and Adelaide get the steadying reply. They lead again by 18 points with 9.5 minutes left.
Well, what a great kick that was from Mark Rashudo. Here he is from 60 metres out. Let's fly. That is an enormous kick. Night conditions are a little bit heavier, the atmosphere. And that ball carrying about 65 metres.
I think they might have found their second key forward tonight, don't you? He's got to play on the forward line, Rashudo.
I think so. He's kicked 3 goals, 2 coming in this last quarter.
10-16, 9-4.
That was a brilliant decision of yours before the game.
76 to 58. Melbourne having to get the next goal now in a hurry to bring the pressure back on Rashudo and Gilbert. And back at centre-half-back, McGuinness over the top of Gilbert, and a bounce down.
Makes it tough for Melbourne now, Bruce.
Powell getting ready to come on for the first time tonight. Ingerson sitting out along with Rouvray. Melbourne bench depleted because both White and Doyle are injured. Leg injuries, unable to take their place. So Neil Baum has very few options here. Wiedemann. Norrish tries to run his opponent off the ball. McGuinness yet another touch out wide to Liptak. Tackled well by Phoebe. Swings it around. Tregenza held up there by Yates. Little toe poke that time. Liptak again over the top. Lovett with him. That's Glenn Lovett and Steins. And a bounce down 50 metres from the Crows' goal. 41,180 here tonight. Steins to go in the ruck with Pittman. Body to body. Steins wins the tap. These players are very tired. There's been so much body work over the course of the night's play. And again a bounce up. 50 metres from the Adelaide Crows goal. Leading by 18 points.
Ruckman, Pittman and Steins. And it's absolutely amazing why they just don't go and stand and face each other.
Exactly, Robbo.
That is absolutely
that is exactly
rubbish.
right.
And they appeal for a free kick. Nothing happens. And eventually McDermott clears it. Liptak gets it to Wiedemann. Wiedemann should kick a goal. Now he's hooked it too far. And it's through for one behind.
So 1-2 to Wiedemann. Well, as you say,
10-17
Robbo,
to 9-4.
it was a good call, that, and I think the ruckmen should really face each other. It's just ridiculous getting to the situation where they're leaning against each other all night.
Steins was good down to Glenn Lovett. He gets it to Brett Lovett. Brett Lovett off the left foot up towards half forward. Schwartz all over Brett Chalmers, and Chalmers will take the free kick. He's got Scott Lee wide on the wing, but he's going to go long. He does kick the ball good distances, Brett Chalmers. He's kicked towards half forward. Rashudo got his hands on it, couldn't take the mark. Glenn Lovett gets the rebound, and the umpire will be forced to bounce. And cooling down, Graham Corns. Well, he'd have to look at this game with a little bit of contentment, I guess. There's still 7 minutes left. Melbourne, if they could get 1 or 2 quick goals, well, it could turn all around.
Powell's on for Adelaide, and off is Joshua Mail.
Very important fresh legs for the Crows. Powell's first run for the evening. Steins doing the ruck work. Rashudo goes down, tackled by Gilbert. Oh, gee, that's a severe penalty. If you make the play and gather the ball and you're caught and penalised, the kick goes towards the wing. Norrish gets past McGuinness, can take it all the way. Norrish back onto the right foot, goes for the goal square. No mark. Ball rebounds and hits the post, so a behind registered for Melbourne. 9-5 to 10-17. Again, 18 points, the margin for the Crows.
Ben Hart is looking for a short option. Now decides to go long. Out to half-back. Wren, the target, slipped over just when he's about to contest. Now Steins over the top of it. Brett Lovett quickly onto the boot. Back inside 50. Charles with a bit of pace. Takes the ball cleverly. Handball back. Glenn Lovett. An important kick. Left foot. Great goal by Lovett. The Demons within 12 points again.
But it'd have to be highway robbery, wouldn't it, if they got to get away with it?
It's a bit like North Melbourne yesterday. Had a late chance against Richmond, didn't they?
Yeah,
similar sort of game.
Yeah, exactly. Back to 12 points now. And it certainly would be, Robbo, because they don't deserve to win this, Melbourne. With the late charge coming from the Demons, it's been their best quarter by far. They've kicked 4 goals in this last term. 4 goals, 3, and outscoring Adelaide.
Well, again, it's back to just 2 goals the difference. Steins tries to get through. Not successful, but Brett Lovett clears the centre. A quick kick to half forward. Punched away, disciplined play, rebounds back near the centre. Brown sweeping hand pass. Tregenza left it behind. Back goes Stephen Phoebe on Andrew Jarman. Could have nearly been deemed a free kick, but the umpiring has been that way all night, so the consistency is good. Charles to full forward and Djakovic's mark. If he kicks this goal at 6 points, the margin.
He'd be within scoring distance too, I would think, Alan Djakovic, if he moves it on quickly.
He does. He sums up the situation, goes long, and he's inaccurate. He kicks it behind. 3 goals, 1 to Alan Djakovic in that scoreline of Melbourne 10-6, Adelaide 10-17, and it's back now to 11 points the margin in Adelaide's favour with 5.5 minutes left.
Closest Melbourne have been for well over a half since early in the second quarter. Chalmers a couple of juggles.
It's the best game he's played, Bruce. Chalmers across half-back.
It's looked good there. He might have found his spot along with Rashudo tonight. Mark not paid. Gee, Phoebe looked to have it. Now McDermott gets a free kick. Has to come back. Neats and Pittman at it. It's been a fair bit of feeling in this match tonight. McDermott from centre wing. Crows leading by 2 kicks. 10 goals, 17 to 10-6. They've won 1 out of their last 5. Melbourne have won 1 out of their last 6. McDermott bombs away. Steins really should have taken the mark. Uncontested and thumps it out of play.
He's playing without a lot of confidence at the moment, Big Jimmy.
If you want to be quite contentious, that could have been deemed as deliberate out of bounds.
Well, it's where he intended it to go. That's where it went. The heart's as big as ever, Big Jimmy, but the body not as able. Now Yates from the back pocket. Melbourne hanging in. Lyon and Wellman go together. One of the champs in the game against a rookie. Well played by Wellman as he's done most of the night. Brown's little one to Lee. Lee was off. Handball over the top. Important play here. Trying to break the tackle was Chalmers. Schwartz did a good job. Coming out of it was Lee. Got it to Brown. Brown to full forward. Modra will take off at the back. Brought a couple down with him. Pripke under pressure rather than Phoebe under pressure.
tried to go off the ground. It's desperate stuff everywhere. Melbourne throw themselves on and hold it up.
Don't you admire the physical presence of all players in that situation? Fantastic.
Willing hearts everywhere there.
Great stuff by both.
One of the tightest games we've seen, Robbo.
Yes, very interesting.
Level.
All night it's been interesting.
20 metres from the goal. Wiedemann tries to break through, and it'll be a ball up. Look at Pike. I think he's going to give Wiedemann a kiss.
I think they both appreciate the efforts that they're putting in for their respective teams.
You wouldn't slap one on the big weed at that stage, would you?
No, you wouldn't think so, would you?
Not with the camera on me anyway. Steins tries to get the ball clear. It spills. Liptak's kicked the goal. Liptak kicks his second goal. He sucked that up very quickly. And it goes out again to 17 points in favour of Adelaide.
And surely that should be the match-winning goal there from Matthew Liptak. Read it well off the pack. Hit the pack running, and fortunately it spilled to him. A couple of juggles, terrific goal by Liptak. He's now kicked 2 goals, 1 for the evening.
Ordinary bounce taken by Wren. He rides the bump and gets the handball away to Jamieson. Again Adelaide, break away from the centre. The high kick, not marked. Comes back to the centre. McGuinness is caught by Neitz. The ball spills for Powell, but it's Tingay. He gets the ball away, but not effective. It's short for Pittman. He gets past Viney and then skillfully gets past another Melbourne opponent and kicks in towards half forward. Back there is Neitz, but in front is Gilbert, and he takes a good mark, but it may be paid to Neitz. 3 minutes left. Neitz goes wide. Player out there is Stephen Phoebe. Gets it to Yates. Yates gets past and then kicks long in towards centre half forward. The kick goes down the ground. Charles will receive it. I haven't seen a kick go down the ground like that for a long time. In a game of
over to Lovett here if he moves it quickly.
Yes, he took all day, Sean Charles, and then goes short. And Glenn Lovett is marked, getting down to 2.5 minutes.
Good kick normally, Glenn Lovett.
Kicked a great goal a few minutes ago off the left foot. So with a set shot from about 50 metres, he must kick the goal. He runs close to the man on the mark. Gets good distance and kicks his second goal. Not many cheers, but it's a Melbourne goal, and it's back to 11 points with 2 and a bit minutes left.
They've just got to get the next one, Bernie, don't they? They haven't been able to get within a goal.
They need a huge effort here from Jimmy Steins at the centre bounce, because they've been getting the ball too easily out of the middle on every occasion. He's just been standing a long way back, Jimmy Steins. And if the ball bounces a little bit off centre, it's been Sean Wren every time.
Well, both teams theoretically playing for a place in the 8 this year. In the last 2 minutes, Adelaide leading by 2 kicks. Schwartz onto a good take. Handball back towards line, who looks very tired. Wellman goes to ground. McGuinness breaks away. Adelaide have had the answers all night. Thumps it down long, gets flattened afterwards. Adelaide Crow fans scream for a free kick. Yates comes wide. This is Melbourne's last big chance. Lovett to Pike. Pike to half forward. The Demons need a mark under pressure or a goal from somewhere. Sullivan turns and twists. Phoebe can't quite get rid of it. Glenn Lovett can kick a goal. Goes for it. Bouncing ball. It's a goal. They're within a kick with a minute and a half to go. The Demons can still win it. What a comeback.
Well, I can't believe it, Bruce. I don't know how they've got this close. Melbourne, it's been a big last quarter effort. 3 goals to Glenn Lovett, all coming in this last term. Alan Jakovic has also kicked 2 for the quarter, and Sean Charles has kicked 1. So a 6-goal quarter by the Demons. When it was 3-quarter time, they'd only kicked 6 up until that stage.
12-6 the Demons, 11-17 Adelaide. Centre break important. Steins could nearly get a free kick here.
It will.
And the Adelaide fans are stunned, absolutely.
Well, a few of them started going home after Liptak kicked that last goal.
Steins kicks it wide to Gilbert. Gilbert's got a player, loose. Schwartz is marked. Well, is he within scoring distance? He's deep, he goes short, into the pocket. Mark taken by Jakovic. Now Jakovic is certainly within scoring distance, and look at that look on that person's face.
Absolutely stunned. Well, absolutely stunned. They can't believe this. Now, this is a very tight angle, though, for Jakovic.
Well, if he kicks the goal, Melbourne win the game.
This would be the greatest steal of all time if Melbourne got up here.
Isn't he just the man for such an occasion? He loves centre stage. He's got it right now.
I'd love to see the actions of this man if he kicks a goal in this situation. Djakovic goes for goal and kicks a point. No, he's out of bounds on the full. Adelaide will rebound. Less than a minute left. 5 points in Adelaide's favour.
Well, that was their last chance, I would think, Bruce, but there's still 46 seconds on the clock.
I wouldn't give them away. They've been terrific the way they've kept coming. Maynard for distance. High ball, outside 50, Steins punches it away. Yates goes to ground. Adelaide hold it up. The time down to inside 40 seconds.
And still ticking down here, there's no time on.
50 metres from the Melbourne goal. They need a tap down and they need Glenn Lovett, I think, to get hold of it. Because he's the man who's turned it around in the last term. The last play, Schwartz, Lyon takes it brilliantly. The tackle was terrific. Lee then holds it up. Gee, was that Jamison's tackle on Lyon? Wasn't that great?
He's been great all night, Jamison, playing on Gary Lyon. A big job. Rod Jamison, he's had 14 and 3, 14 kicks, 3 hand passes.
Well, look at that clock ticking away. Melbourne not going to get a crack at this.
That's it.
And there's the siren. Look at the relief on the Crows' faces. It was a fantastic contest with a big finish.
6-4, 3-2 in the last term in favour of Melbourne. So a great last quarter and a terrific contest between two teams that were desperate to win this game. Well, you can see the way they're walking off, Bruce. There aren't too many sprinting, jumping. They all look pretty weary.
From Adelaide's point of view, had they lost from that winning position, you would just think the season was gone, wouldn't you? They had to win the way they'd set the match up. Melbourne almost pinching it in the dying moments.
Yeah, 25 points of margin at three-quarter time. Melbourne reduced that margin to 5 points at the final bell.
So similar to yesterday's game with Richmond hanging on against North Melbourne, dominating throughout and winning in the end by less than a kick.
Yeah, big quarter by Melbourne, 6-goal final term. They nearly stole the game. Really, they were outplayed completely for 3 quarters. Midfield, they didn't have any forwards capable of looking like winning the game for them, but Glenn Lovett in that last quarter took the game by the scruff of the neck, kicked 3 goals. Djakovic kicked 2 final quarter goals and also one to Sean Charles, who'd been very quiet right throughout the evening as well, held by Rodney Maynard.
Well, McGuinness was terrific tonight as Neil Curley talks to Tony McGuinness.
Thank you, Bruce. Well, Tony, it was down to the wire.
It certainly was. Kills, it was a really hard grind all night. Even though we got 4 up at a few stages during the game, it was never very easy. It was really hard work.
The thing that stood out from us watching tonight was the endeavour and enthusiasm of the Crows players to start the game with. A lot better than the last couple of weeks.
Oh, no doubt, and that's the thing that's really been missing over the last few weeks is that endeavour and really want to get in there and do the nitty-gritty stuff, do the hard stuff, and I think our supporters and fans saw that tonight. It's something to work on. It was only a small win, but that we really need it because we're really under the hammer.
And it was a fantastic duel between Wren and Steins there in that second half of the game.
Yeah, Rennie was sensational, and he's been down the last couple of weeks, and the big fella really wanted to prove something tonight. He enjoys playing against Jimmy. He's a great champion, and I thought the two had a tremendous duel, and Rennie was great in the last quarter for us.
And perhaps a shootout half forward may have found that half forward the Crows have been looking for.
Well, he's a class player, but a desperate player as well, and that's what we've really had missing there. I thought we did a good job tonight as well, and if you've got a couple of guys like that against across half forward, you can really hold the ball in there and kick a couple of goals.
Well done, son. Let's enjoy your win. Back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Neil. Exhausted but articulate. A great champion, isn't he, Tony McGuinness? Yep. Final scores at Footy Park, and don't forget Collingwood and West Coast coming up shortly after this break. It was Adelaide 11-17 to the Demons 12-6.
That's what I like about life. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
Instead of waiting for the King Khan to travel to lead. So tonight, enjoy a hot cappuccino or a fine bite to eat while relaxing in comfort, watching the replay of the Crows versus Melbourne game. Affordable food prices for the whole family is guaranteed. And the auditorium is open to the general public 7 days a week. And of course, the auditorium will certainly have available paintings for everyone to enjoy. So come on in after the game and have a look at this new exciting facility in the Football Park Auditorium, located on the western side of the Oval, close to the shopping centre, and enjoy a cappuccino there tonight and a quick bite to eat whilst you re-lit tonight's game between Adelaide and Melbourne. So then, ladies and gentlemen, please take each on the roads under tonight. Use extra care. The roads are still quite slippery, so an extra 15 minutes or so travelling home this evening. And if you're bright and bushy-eyed and wide awake and alert, you can avoid any accidents from occurring. So look after yourself, the rest of the sporting public, and of course other road users when travelling home this evening. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this match wherever you're watching around Australia as much as we did here. It was terrific. The Crows in the end by 5 points, a desperate last couple of minutes, 11-17-83 to Melbourne 12-6-78. The other big game today at the MCG, Collingwood up against top of the table West Coast. At three-quarter time, the Maggies were leading. It was 12-10 to 10-9. 82 to 69. We're going to the match with 17 minutes remaining in the final term. Collingwood have added 1 goal. They lead by 19 points.
Not happy again with the umpires making a lot of noise. But as was the case yesterday, the umpires let them play in the game between Richmond and North Melbourne. And again today, only yesterday, they paid a lot of free kicks late in the game and it was up for grabs. We'll see what happens this afternoon. In the foreground, Craig Turley. There's Francis and Brown. Turley wearing number 44 now with that cut above the right eye. It's been sewn up. Harding was pushed in the back. Well done there by McIntosh. Got it to Banfield. Banfield floats it down towards full forward. Krasiska, great courage. Came back strongly at the pack and fisted it through for a behind.
3 straight kicks the difference. The Eagles hot favourites today. Hot favourites for the premiership. And clear competition leader. Under siege here from the Pies, who are unfancied going into today. Down goes Brown. Plucked off the ground. Hassel. Good kick to centre half forward. McCartney. Unsighted for 3/4, but here he is when it counts. Oh, Shaw's got clear. Buckley went right. Shaw went left. McCartney going for a bit of distance. 60 metres out. Monkhorst. It hits the deck in the square and is rushed through by Clappe. Might have been a bit of a push there from Monkhorst.
It was a full brother. Waterman boots it in. Kemp into open space. He's away around the other side. Dean Kemp goes down towards half forward. McIntosh hasn't seen much of the ball this afternoon. That's unusual. Just forward of the wing. Little chip pass. Turley set a task. Kerrison over the top. And the ball out of bounds and will be thrown in. Craig Turley looking to re-establish himself in AFL football. Harding from behind, Rocker decisively. Worth a kick. Gained about 25 to 30 metres. Mainwaring gets back though. Picks it up hard against the boundary line. Floats it back towards the 50. Clears McKenna. Here's Lewis. Hassel got him. Kerrison close to the line. Ran it across. We assume he lost his bearings. It will be thrown in the pocket. The sun breaking through. Very cool in Melbourne. But the crowd right into this game. Desperate game for the Magpies to win. McKenna forces it behind.
Well done by McKenna. Put it out into space to allow his teammates to run onto it.
Crowd today, 27,699.
It's a poor crowd, isn't it, really?
Incredible for Collingwood at the MCG against the league leaders. 27,000. Krasiska towards the outer side. Rocker, spoiled by Harding. Goes to Mainwaring. Chris Mainwaring a centering kick to the edge of the square. Krasiska back there.
Well done again, Krasiska.
They're building on those rushed stats. And the margin is now 17 points.
Begs the question, Drew, a side that can't kick goals or struggles to should never be 4-1 on in a footy match, or as it was last week at Subiaco, 12-1 on.
McGuan breaks from the huddle and gets it behind halfback. Very high kick, just over halfback flank. Harding and Rocker. Crumbs to Kemp. Shows them the ball, goes the other way, flips it up, but it's grabbed by Hassel. Too fierce for Francis. And the ball out of play. Still the Eagles a chance, just forward of centre wing, southern stand side.
Better game from Tony Francis this afternoon. Harding and Rocker again. Body to body. Rocker gets it down. Taken away by Brown. Out of the congestion. Gains about 20 metres. Francis can't keep it in. It'll be thrown in. On the wing. 13-11 to 10-12. Still plenty of time. In excess of 14 minutes. A real battle at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Rocker in front. Got a fist to that one. Knocked on there by Fraser. Down towards half forward. McCartney helps it on its way. Buckley inside the centre square. Great kick. Tranquilli. He's kicked 4, 2 of them in the previous turn. But Buckley kept his head and used the ball superbly.
Good lead by Tranquilli. Full of confidence.
Very important kick again.
He's got a beautiful kicking action. Just watch this.
It's a goal. They're meeting every challenge, the Magpies. Terrific effort.
Yes, and he'll be a very happy man, Andrew Tranquilli, after the game. Good play also by McCartney. He really hasn't figured. Here he is hitting the ball on across to Buckley. And Buckley, sensing the situation, spots Tranquilli. Good lead by Tranquilli.
Pike with a big kick out of the middle, inside half forward for the Eagles. McKenna gets rid of Hassel. Lewis keeps it low, just clears the head of Heady and bounces into the behind post, and we'll have a throw in. Andrew Tranquilli, 6 marks, 8 kicks, 5 goals. He's not really that young, he's 22. He was drafted in March last year, playing his 3rd game. He was taken number 68 in the March draft, and he's having by far his best day in football. Unless he once kicked 58 for Marsden.
He sounds young to me.
Free kick, Kerrison. Now Richardson has done all right on Heady. He's a bit stiff. His opponent's had 6 kicks for 6 goals.
High to the wing.
Oh, there's a free kick.
Buckley held without it. No doubting that one. So Buckley on centre wing. 24th possession, Nathan Buckley. High kick. We talked about Francis and Buckley making a contribution today. They have. Here's Hart, wide of the pack, pulls it back across his body. Good kick, good mark. This is Pike, left half back. Some indecision. Where will he go? Harding in the middle, the best option. Good kick. Harding. Well, the mark not paid.
That is a mark.
Moncourse comes away with it. Kicks it down towards full forward. James off hands, a half chance. Brennan's held without it, surely, and he'll get the free kick. Well, that was a mark back in the middle. Or it seemed that way, but...
Well, I don't think he really did have it long enough.
Oh. Waterman squares the ball. This is Clapper in the back pocket.
I thought it was a vice-like grip until the punch came.
Yeah, belated punch, I thought, Don, but...
Yeah, I agree with you. I know he took the mark clearly, but I think it's up to... Well, I suppose that's why there's so much grey in this game of football. It's interpretation, isn't it?
Mainwaring gets it across to Turnbull.
Sent me grey following it, I can tell you.
Here's Shaw. Krasiska kicks it down towards half forward. A high ball. McCartney in front. Fisted away by Turnbull. In there is Russell. Turnbull comes again. Confronted by Johnny Hassel. Jarred free. Russell's away. Russell. Little Terrier runs inside the 50. Dragged down from behind by Kemp. Affected the kick. Back comes Waterman. Channels play to the outer side. Did he pay that mark? Well, that's fair enough. Fraser, same thing that happened to Harding. Kick inside the 50 and Wilson takes the mark. So the umpires are consistent there.
11 minutes 20 left in the game.
I thought that was a mark too.
Turnbull, yep. Over centre wing, McIntosh. He'll take a free kick. The free starting to come now for the Eagles. They had 9 to three-quarter time. They've now got 14 to half forward.
Smart mark.
Richardson.
This is what happened yesterday, Drew. We made the point earlier. The umpires suddenly started paying frees late in the game and it was on the line.
Richardson from half-back to centre wing. Monkhorst in front. No mark. Brown to the 50. James, kickless. Taps to no one. Wilson. There's James, ridden into the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Francis finds himself some room. I don't know how. Nathan Buckley has time. Across the face. And Turnbull there. That's a mark.
Well, watch this. Pike is about 50 metres in the clear. On the members' wing, Pike measures the options. The kick is shocker. Well, he had all the time in the world. Not used to getting that much time on a football field, and as a result, the kick was wide of the mark, and Watson runs it out of bounds in front of our commentary position. He can't believe it. Normal response from players these days. Boundary throw in on the wing. 14-11 to 10-12.
Tried to spit the dummy, but it didn't come out.
Monkhorst held on to, surely. No kick. Brown's in there, close to the line. That's an interesting one. He's got a sense of humour. Now, Harding was poleaxed by Monkhorst that time, and Harding will get the free. So, suddenly, as Drew pointed out, a welter of free kicks for the West Coast Eagles. Certainly by comparison with the first 3 terms. McIntosh spoiled. Shaw, who's been steady. Krasiska, who's been very good. Brown, who was inspirational early. Goes down towards half forward. Here comes Tranquilli again. Got fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Off the ground. Improvisation there by Wilson. It comes to Matera. Threads his way through. They need a run. Matera up towards the middle. Well, he's got to control it first. He knocks it across to support. Clapper is in desperate trouble. Thumped back by Shaw, holding the ball, the decision. Now advantage is paid. A late call. They fumbled it. Brown's hand pass not good. Clearing the zone is Brennan. He runs it out of bounds, and that, my friends, was desperate football.
And also deliberate by Brennan.
I couldn't have got the distance.
I think you're allowed to kick out deliberately, aren't you?
Well,
just not allowed to hand pass or throw it or walk it.
It was a 60-metre kick.
Holding the ball? No opportunity to get rid of it. Nine minutes left, and the Eagles need 4 goals to win. And on the trend of the game, you wouldn't reckon they could do it. Harding. Centre of the ground. They're sprinting from all directions. Courage needed. Shown by Christian. It spills to Kerrison. A high one. James!
Oh, now is that 50 metres? They've played some soft 50 metres today, the umpires.
They've got good memories, this crowd, haven't they?
That's James' first mark. All he's done so far is had 3 handballs. He's about to have his first kick.
He's been a little bit enthusiastic up there. Ooh. On the forward line, laid a few heavy tackles, but he really does run straight at the ball, this young man from Norwood.
This is just about seal it. 5-goal lead. James from 47 metres. What a kick!
Well, Brett James' first goal, 1 goal 2 last week. In actual fact, he captained Norwood, and that's a compliment they paid to this young fellow. McIntosh was injured. That's Gary McIntosh. And being only 20, only a youngster, he's played over, well, near 90 games for Norwood. Shows he's got a lot of responsibility and maturity on his shoulders. But he runs straight at the ball, and he's a real hard nut.
Just over 8 minutes till full time, but the margin now out to 29 points. Pike pumps it in. Here comes Lewis, left it behind. Heady, he's got the run of it again. Heady slips close to the boundary line, gets to his feet, kicks it inside the 50. Langdon is down there. It ricochets to him. Strong tackle by Johnny Hassel. Somehow got it up there to Watson. Watson boots it directly back to Heady.
Well, there's something here, Dennis. Heady about 2 kicks, the first 2 kicks for the game that haven't been goals.
Well, that wasn't a good kick. Found Christian. Intended for McIntosh, who slipped. Christian across the ground. Shaw. Collingwood. Well, they put down the challenge, and now they're starting to run away. Here's Francis around the outer side. Kicks towards half forward. McGuan is out there. James comes to meet it. Ricochets to McGuan. Feeds it back to James. Little centering kick. Tranquilli. Almost the mark. Gathered by Clappe. High one. Back towards midfield. Kerrison from behind. Knocked on by Turley. In there is Banfield. Gets it to McIntosh. Turley. Nicely done. With some time, Turley. Kicks inside the 50. From behind, Langdon. Almost the mark. Fell at his feet. Knocked wide. He's got it inside the 50. There's a whistle behind play. And the free kick is going against
Lewis.
Thank you. Hassel to take it. To Buckley. Buckley at half back. Long towards half forward. Russell, clever mark.
Yes, good mark.
Scott Russell, 60 metres from goal. Long one. Rockers in front. 2 hands to the ball. Didn't complete the mark. Mainwaring in the gloom. Goes looking for Brennan. They have not stopped the Magpies. Watch this. More pressure. Russell got Kemp close to the line. Out of bounds on the full, I fancy.
Holding the ball.
Oh, back then, did he? So the free kick will go to Russell. Some confusion amongst the players, but Russell will take the kick.
Yeah, see here Lewis is holding the player up.
More than that, I think, Donny.
Well, why wasn't it reported?
They leave that to trial by video for during the week. Comes to the back of the pack. Waterman under pressure. The Eagles. Clappe. Not a great kick. Fraser marks on the 50. 101 to 72.
That's 50 metres.
Now he's got it off to Buckley, but it's coming right up to the edge of the goal square. Now this is all over. The Pies have defeated the Premiership favourites. There's no risk. There's just under 6 minutes left. But the Eagles can't win from here. Free kicks, 21 to Collingwood, 14 to the Eagles. And here's Mark Fraser right in front. His second.
They were terrific, the Maggies, today. 18-13 to 12-12. Only the second time this year the Eagles have had more than 15 goals kicked against them. Tranquilli got 6 for the Maggies in his 3rd game only in AFL. And for the Eagles, Heady got 6. A break from Football Park, back with more, including the ladder, after this.
That's what I like. Yeah, that's the thing about football.
Melbourne coming home with a rush tonight, but failing by 5 points. The Crows 11-17. Modra kicked 3 goals, Rashudo 3, and Jakovic and Glenn Love at 3 each for the Demons at 12-6. Bernie Quinlan, it was a terrific match. What about your 1, 2, 3 for the Challenge Bank Footballer of the Year?
Well, I gave 3 votes to Tony McGuinness for a fantastic 4-quarter performance. He ran all night, got plenty of the ball. 2 to Sean Wren for his work at centre half forward and also in the ruck. And also 1 vote to Graham Yates. I thought he stood firm in defence for Melbourne all night.
McGuinness, Wren and Yates. And for the $20,000 prize, the Sports World Player of the Year, Carey. 2 more matches out suspended. Williams, by the way, reported this weekend. They're the 2 leaders. Glenn Jakovic and Main Waring at 9. Anderson, G. Hocking and Dunstall at 8. The leading goal kickers after this round. Ablett 71, Dunstall without a goal. Modra creeping up to 51. Minton, Connell, Kernahan, Alan Jakovic with 3 tonight. It looks to be between Ablett and Dunstall.
The 1994 AFL Premiership League Ladder. Brought to you by Foster's.
Tightening up, isn't it? West Coast, North, Carlton, Hawthorn, Collingwood, Geelong, Melbourne, Essendon. That's the top 8. Adelaide won tonight, yet lost a position over the weekend. Footscray above them. Richmond and Brisbane are closing. Fitzroy still in with a bit of a chance. St Kilda, Sydney. Next week's matches, Bernie Quinlan in one word.
Yeah, tight ones next week, Bruce. I think Carlton will beat North Melbourne Friday night. Footscray to beat Fitzroy. Richmond to beat Melbourne, Adelaide to beat St Kilda and Essendon to beat Sydney, Geelong to beat West Coast and Brisbane to beat Collingwood.
Perfectly timed. Hope you've enjoyed it tonight. It's been terrific from Football Park.
Well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. I got a long road to walk down to catch a tram to my favorite ground. Use my legs, use my voice, make some noise, support the boys, and that's what football means to me. That's how I like my footy to be, and well, that's the thing about, that's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's the thing about football. That's what I like about, yeah, that's
This has been a 7 Sports production.